move them all 1-for-1, the deal's done. Bobby Mack let us know. Ryan Stromey lost it twice. Drake from Manning was not nice. 2 good picks, they went for Griff. Pete just had to go. Eric Greiber buyout, what was that all about? Miko signed a 3-year deal, and my friends, that ain't no steal. Traded for Spooner, shoulda canned him sooner. Chris Russell, Lucic, no movement on their deals. Pete left a tire fire. Bobby Nix is searching for the perfect person. Pete left a tire fire. Now it's tough to do well when you're stuck in cap hell.
And that is the message we have for you this morning, kids. It's tough to do well when you're stuck in cap hell. And you had to play with a short lineup last night. Things are going to happen, right?
Week 6 of the NFL is here. Hey,
that's true. We are excited for that one. That's pretty much like you just said in the nasty chat this morning, Eric. Preseason wasn't long enough.
We were saying it all preseason that they needed more games to kind of, I mean, it's one thing to come back early, right? To come back, report to camp, be here early, but I don't think they had enough games to kind of prepare for last night.
How can you force the Oilers into playing last night's game after just 8 preseason games? It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable as a league.
Some would say unfair.
Thank you very much for joining us here on the Nielson Show today. Dustin and Lt Eric with you. We are coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studios, where hopefully you're ordering some DoorDash Skip the Dishes Uber Eats last night while you watch that game. Popeyes, great partners with the Edmonton Oilers. And a tough one last night for the Mighty Oil, but huge shout out once again to Popeyes for sponsoring the studio here on the Nielsen Show today and every day. We have a few things to unpack, right?
I'm looking forward to your mystery one that really you had your 3 things last night that you had something else that you were saving.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
I was really excited about this one.
Thanks for following me on the socials.
Well, hey,
that's great. I will. I think I might even save it for hour number 2. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Is it like trying to get out of you? You can't keep it.
It's just like, I would think, basically, if you watched the game last night, and we're going to sit here today and we're going to rip it to shreds, and people are going to overreact because that is what we do in a hockey mad market. But let's remember, it is just one game. For all we know, they could bounce back and win 6-1 on Saturday. This is why they play the games. This is why they play the games.
That's why they don't go straight to the postseason.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you got to get there first, I guess.
The inboxes are already hopping here. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Tommy Rubella, who took home text of the day yesterday, is in and says, Jay Woodcroft's plan is starting nicely. Step 1, give Canucks the 2 points they'll need to squeeze into the last wild card spot. Mm-hmm. Step 2, fill them with false confidence. Step 3, beat them in the first round while avoiding the President Trophy. Step 4, Stanley Cup.
The long play, eh?
Clever move. We've said it for a long time, and my glasses are filthy today.
6D chess.
We've said it for a long, exactly.
Yeah.
Right? Jay Woodcroft is playing some level of chess we're not even sure exists right now.
He's playing backgammon, and nobody knows how to play backgammon.
Yeah.
He's just schooling you.
Do you know how to play backgammon?
No, I don't.
I don't know how to play backgammon.
I've always been interested I would learn if somebody would.
Seems like a very popular game around the world.
I should learn together.
This is where you move the pieces on the diamond, like the pointy triangles.
I watched Lost over the summer, and I think they played it on there.
You watched Lost over the summer?
The entire thing.
Had you seen it before?
No, not at all. It was my summer project. And then get this. No, at the end, the final episode, I fell asleep. And I still haven't gone back to watch it.
Don't
tell me.
Doesn't surprise me.
No spoilers, please.
Man, I can't believe I didn't know that you were watching Lost. I've rewatched Lost twice.
It was my summer project. Because,
That's incredible.
We lost our jobs. And then so you had all this time. And I was like, well, just, you throw something on. Sometimes you crush 6-7 episodes in a day when you're not doing anything no work. But
that's
was
insane.
My summer.
That's insane.
I got lost.
Good show, though, right?
Last night.
Good show.
Yeah, well, it was decent.
I like
the casting.
I like the time travel stuff. That was by far my favorite.
I didn't know where it was going early on. I knew nothing about it. I went this long with knowing nothing about the series at all.
So why did you decide to watch it?
Because it was
yeah, nothing else to do.
I clearly knew it wasn't just a plane crash and they got lost.
I was not expecting to get sidetracked with you watching Lost over the summer.
Take that and put in your hat.
That's awesome. All right,
Don't tell me anything on the last episode because I still haven't gotten around to kind of.
780-218-9999 is where you can get in. It is the Paris Jewelers inbox. And you know how you cheer up that Oilers fan in your life this morning after the 8-1 loss?
Retail therapy.
With a huge-ass diamond.
Yeah.
Right? Go get that taken care of at Paris Jewelers. Canadian and family-owned. 23 locations across this great land. Flexible finance options available, including do not pay for 1 year in store. Maddie, if there's any more juice in my headphones, man, I'll take a little bit more. Hello. Oh, yeah. I think that's really
Fogged
nice.
Glasses.
Well, Tommy Gazzola was sitting here last night. I don't
that's
think
what it is. Yeah.
Tommy Gazzola likes some
Gage was
cranks.
sitting here, I do believe.
In his tight leather jacket. By the way, thank you to everybody who follows us here on YouTube. We're closing in on 4,500 subs. Tell your friends, or if you're watching right now and you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that. But we had a couple thousand people watch the post-game show last night. And that's something that was like rolling at 11 o'clock. So you're all awesome for checking that out. And I know the inbox was absolutely hopping last night.
And if I could take the time to give props to Tommy, Joaquin, and
the
Mr.
MVP.
Lee, Matthew Iwanek, who, I mean, can we say this now? He's Mr. 24-hour man.
Matty Iwanek, Mr. Lean himself, did become the first person in Edmonton Sports Talk history to sleep at the office last night.
How's your back?
Yeah, where did you sleep exactly?
Tell me everything. Did you
tell us about this?
Body feels fine. Body's good.
Did you sleep on the big couch or your love seat in the office?
My love seat in the office.
That
Closed the door, locked it.
Oh, you did? Oh, so nobody was messing with you.
Did you go straight to bed after like the post game, or did
I
you
lay down right away. Yeah. But once you busy, it's hard to wind down.
Yeah.
So it took me a while to
watch
still.
a little TV?
No, didn't do.
Were you
any of
waking up because at any point was it uncomfortable, or did you actually have a pretty good sleep? Did you bring in a
No,
blanket and pillow?
that. I do have a blanket and pillow.
Yes.
Good man.
Yes.
No, I never got into a good deep sleep.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of always somewhat aware of my surroundings at all
Yeah.
times.
When did you awaken?
Like 4:30.
Did you like walk
start?
the yard
Okay.
afterwards? Like kind of
No. Went
check around.
brush my teeth.
But you got a toothbrush
I
here
love it.
too?
I love it.
Amazing.
I'm not gonna go through a day without brushing my teeth.
No, but so you were planning on sleeping here, like that was the plan all along. then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought maybe you just had a random
Yeah, this wasn't a
station
flop,
toothbrush.
right? Yeah.
No, I planned on that.
I'll be
We should
honest.
get like an air mattress here. I think.
That'd be
Oh,
nice.
that's a great idea.
I think we should
Brandon.
get.
You
one
know
of
what?
those.
Let's put it on the agenda for next week's meeting.
I have actually one other thing I realized while I was trying to sleep. We should probably get a fire extinguisher.
What did you think the building was going to start on fire last night?
Well, no, it's just
He
one
was
thing that
thinking of all these things.
popped
you know,
up.
You're lying awake and
Yeah, he popped up.
Can we get one of just those small fire extinguishers?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
okay,
Like something, and maybe something so we could bash a window open, just in case.
You could probably use the fire extinguisher.
well, if you're, but if
That's
you're,
a fair point.
I've always seen it in movies and stuff. Or you could just do like this. Just smash your elbow into it.
Yeah, no,
That's
I
what
don't-
people do
I
too.
don't think so.
Flying.
Because like if there was because we don't. It's not the safest place we're in when it comes to that stuff.
That's
you
what
know.
The
Oh,
guy
interesting.
stays here for one night, and now we're not
Well,
safe.
and then but like you could easily jump on to like that part next to us.
yeah, and then get out.
and then you're outside at least. So like I figured like as long as we could like break a window, we should be good.
It is important to have an exit plan,
Yeah.
no matter where you are.
Should we do a fire drill
well, a
next
mustard
week?
point. I think,
Let's
too.
put it on the agenda. See if
full
we
fire
let's
drill.
discuss if we need to do a full fire drill.
Do we coordinate with the spa downstairs like a full building exercise?
I
Come
have a-
together.
I don't
Mustard
know.
point. We put a little sign in the parking lot, right? We all
meet here.
muster around there.
Everyone has a work captain.
Yes,
We're-
yes.
oh, yeah.
Count,
We'll
town
need to
We
and
have to
local.
make one of those
Right.
spots where people meet.
That's what he's saying with the mustard,
mustard point.
Oh, a mustard point.
Mustard point.
Oh, yeah, mustard point. Mustard or mustard?
Mustard.
Mustard point. Not mustard.
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 Mustard point.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what I said.
Yeah,
Mustard.
mustard point. Yeah, we need one of those. I'll say, were you worried at all about Russian spa people or
No.
black sedan guy like when you're sleeping here last night?
No.
Good for you, buddy.
Didn't hear any noises? No, like.
No.
I can't wait to sleep here.
Yeah, but you're going to be doing it on a flop. You're not like kind of planning. It'd be one of those nights that gets. You
No,
know,
part
like,
of me wants us to plan an Edmonton Sports Talk sleepover night.
That's another thing too. We have all the amenities.
I think that'd be great. We could get an air mattress. You two, Trev could sleep on the boardroom table. You can put those two green chairs together. Somebody could sleep on
Dare
there.
each other to break into the spa
Yeah.
late at night.
Yeah, no, I think that would be. I think that's pretty good. Belineski in the Nasty Chat today says the spa is the reason the building would catch on fire. When I rolled up today, I saw your car. It wasn't parked on the street. It was in the parking lot, and there was a little bit of dew out there today. And I was like, "Damn it, Maddie! You beat me to it. You got to sleep. You got to sleep in the building last night. So congratulations, buddy. Congratulations on being the first person to sleep here. All right, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. We will lay out the show for you here this morning. If you need a conch, let us know why. We had this one roll in. We had texts probably start like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning today. AM Nasties rolling along. Let's get into this for a conch. Good morning, boys. It's been a month and a half. We stayed with my parents and then my brother-in-law and his wife. But today, my wife and I take possession of our brand new house. Can I get a conch? Cheers, William Mike Spear. That's awesome. Congrats on the new house and all of the work you have to do to set up a new house. You had to do that in the last year or so, right? It's a lot of work to get a new house.
Finally getting around to, as I said, you want to know where the water flows, that type of thing. You take a good calendar year to check it all out and see what happens.
You don't have any boxes left unpacked, do you? Or is that done?
No, it's all good. Yeah, we're all in.
No, see, we've lived at our house for almost 7 years.
You're telling me you have a...
I'm not good at getting things done around the house, right? So when we moved in, we got a bunch of old wedding pictures and stuff, and we put up a bunch of them, but we had quite a few. So up in our bonus room upstairs, there are still 4 more wedding pictures that are still in the plastic wrap from the move almost 7 years ago that just kind of sit in behind an end table. And once a year, Tam would be like, hey, you should put those up. I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it. It's been almost 7 years. Well, those pictures aren't going up. And honestly, I liked our wedding, but I don't think we need more wedding pictures up.
Just have that's kind of our place too. We have nothing else. It's just pictures of the two of us.
Yeah.
We're the only two in the house, and there's just pictures of two of us kissing each other. But it gives you something to always do, always something to shoot for, right? Oh, you always get around to those boxes. You're never done. That's good, I think. You can have a little job to kind of.
It's always I got something on my to-do list.
It never stops, right?
Maybe this is the year I get to those pictures upstairs. We'll see. All right, conch requests, 780-218-9999. One of your text messages today will win that gift certificate to A&W for the text of the day. Get yourself a $20 gift card to A&W, and maybe you have a little bounce-back chicken cruncher sandwich today. Why not? Chubby Chicken Cruncher, BLT Chicken Cruncher, and the Nashville Hot Chicken Cruncher available at all of your A&Ws. And get your lattes. I'm a big latte guy now. Big latte guy. We do have a clip from the Diamondbacks game last night that we're going to beat to death today.
Go Diamondbacks.
We'll get to that at some point here in the 6 o'clock hour. I think it's going to lead to some absolutely amazing texts. Kind of ties in nicely to what happened to the Oilers last night. So we'll get into that here as well. Your reaction, obviously, to the Oilers getting just bare butt spanked by the Vancouver Canucks in the nasty chat or at 780-218-9999. Here's the rest of the show for you. We will have your official morning after show coming up around 6:20 here today. Eric and I will take a deep dive into the game last night with all of our fun things like the EST, big moment that happened.
Maybe we dip a toe in
among other things.
Hey? I mean, we just kind of
that's so gross. Hey, I'm looking at the NHL scoreboard right now from last night. It's 5-3 Carolina, Ottawa, good game. Toronto, Montreal, great game.
Well, Austin Matthews hat trick. You're kind of you're going around. It's
already over on TSN. They're Austin Matthews best scorer in the league. I think it was our guy, Craig Button. I'm going to have to call Button out next week.
We are here now, yeah.
Boston got by Chicago 3-1. Bedard, wraparound.
Ding, ding.
Wraparound for Bedard. Calgary 5-3 over Winnipeg. Colorado 5-2 over the Kings. And Vancouver 8-1 over the Edmonton Oilers. I had a 4-gamer we put together in the lock shop yesterday. The Oilers ruined it. I guess Ottawa ended up losing by 2. I thought they would keep that close. But just seeing that 8-1 Vancouver Edmonton,
it's terrible.
It's just gross.
It's a terrible. I don't know if that's the worst number you could have against you in hockey. Obviously the higher you go, but you don't really see a lot of 10s. Or maybe that's a preseason score. But in regular season, I think you get to that snowman, right? And that's ugly. You got one dry sub power play.
Yeah. Well, actually, quickly on that, what was our Cool Bet hotline of the day yesterday? Draisaitl goal at plus 114. Once again, with our great partners at Cool Bet, I do say stay cool and bet responsibly.
Stay cool, yes.
With that being said, my entire account was out last night on a busy slate in the National Hockey League, and I ended up doubling it because of 2 hits. The Draisaitl goal and then Coolbet had this exclusive yesterday called the Lamplighter. Austin Matthews goal, Kyle Connor goal, Leon Draisaitl goal, and it was plus 925. And I got on that bad boy, and all of a sudden, the account is flush.
You lit
heading
the lamp.
into an NFL weekend. Just a real nice boost yesterday.
And fantasy-wise, I know I talked off air with you, but your JT Miller.
Yesterday on the show, I'm
Wow.
sitting here going,
Wow.
oh, I had to hold my nose.
Yes, you were.
To take JT Miller, and then JT Miller drops 5 points last night. I know it's so early in the season, just 2 days in, but
Oh, you got to overreact.
I think I'm good. I think I'm going to win that league. I think I'm going to win that hockey
JT
pool.
Miller's living with you now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Me the next day after the opening game to JT Miller on my fantasy team.
You're gonna live with me now. Yeah, I'm gonna take care of you. Because I love you.
ya.
I love you, Joe. I love you.
I love you, JT Miller. At least for one night. At least not last night. If your team's going to get pumped, I think most fans would say you might as well either make money off it or have something good happen in fantasy off of it. So I guess that's what happened last night. So morning after show coming up here in about 3, 4, 5 minutes, basically after we wrap up this quick run through. Just after 6:30 today, we will get into it. The Upper Bowl will be closed at Commonwealth next season. We're actually going to have Rick LeLacheur, who's the interim president, and we'll try to just figure out what's going on with his role moving forward. But he's going to pop by. The only time he can make work is 8 o'clock today. So LeLacheur is going to join us around 8 o'clock, and then we'll get into kind of easy trivia, 3 questions too many, and all that fun stuff. But we will get into that a little bit around 6:30 if you want to chime in on Luke Gazdic, rising star for Sportsnet. He's going to join us just after 7 o'clock this morning. We'll have your Cool Bet hotline of the day. 7:30 today, smash hit segment, I Got Beef. I have a feeling a lot of people will have beef with things today.
What a day for the segment. I think we got a little bit more jerky we can chew
We
on.
must
as well,
have a
but
little show meat left.
We'll have enough to chew on from last night, I'm sure.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Show meat, 7:30, I Got Beef. Cool Bet hotline of the day in hour number 2, the Century Casino NFL Challenge. Ian Rapoport's going to pop by around 7:45. And like we said, third hour is jammed up again. LeLacheur's going to join us just after 8. Kind of easy trivia. 3 questions too many, and more time for your reaction to the Edmonton Oilers losing 8-1. 8-1 to the Vancouver Canucks. And, 780-218-9999. Or in the nasty chat this morning, both message systems are absolutely just getting pounded today.
Now hockey's back.
I guess
You thought it was back yesterday. It is back now.
hockey is officially back. Dan is in this morning. Says 82-0 out the window, but 0-82 still on the table.
Well,
I did say last night, I don't think they can play a worse game this season than they did last night. Are the Oilers going to lose worse than 8-1 at some point this year? So in a positive way, it's only up from here. It can only get better.
it's a way of looking at it.
Yeah.
You're
I think
forced to
so.
look at it that way when you're in a corner of 8-1,
Right.
staring at you. And
Yeah.
what are you going to say about this? It's only way from here. It's good to think. And you're right. I mean, this team is constructed where, even, a few leads last night, you're like, well, they're never out of it. I mean, they can score 4-5 it can happen, right? But what have we talked about? The defensive capabilities, and I'm sure we'll
Same
deeper
time, we'll
dive
get,
into
yeah,
this.
we'll
but
get into this for sure. Let's get to a couple more messages. Ryan says, as the Oilers were burning in flames of the dumpster fire that was last night's game, Maddie's mind was drawn to a fire extinguisher. Do you think that's why you thought about it last night when trying to fall asleep, because of just the tire fire that we saw last night on the ice? That does make sense. When people say, why do you dream about certain things? Maybe that's what
was
it
Peter
was.
Chiarelli in your dream at all?
Yeah. Was Maddie, did the fire extinguisher in your dream have arms and a face?
What form did he take?
You just don't know. Did you take some drugs before you tried to have a nap here after the game last night?
I'm staying here tonight.
I also love, I think it's Dan who says, hey guys, I'd watch a company fire drill.
Yeah, we'll YouTube it. The stream never stops.
Yeah.
It's
YouTube Trev will have his camera going and he'll just be shooting everything. I'll go in full Costanza, pushing people out of the way. Dusty, it's just a drill.
an honest account of the staff here at
It's
EST.
just a drill. All right, let's get into your morning after show. We're going to hear what Jay Woodcroft had to say. That'll be coming up in this segment. But Yeah, and let's get into it, buddy. Your Edmonton Sports Talk, your EST, big moment that happened.
Somebody wanted the Cheers theme today, obviously. With
actually, geez, I wonder if I have that.
Could we? It's a
I don't think I have it right here. No, I can.
We wouldn't have any rules against it.
No, it's a parody. I can definitely
fill time until you find it because it's just a.
No, I won't be able to
theme
find it
song
short
parody.
notice.
Well, that's okay.
We did have theme song issues yesterday in the country of Russia.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, let's just bring people in
We were
quickly.
flagged.
The Tales of the North sound bed, the Game of Thrones theme, was copyrighted in Russia, and you can't watch yesterday's show in Russia now. So we apologize to all of our Russian friends who are watching on YouTube.
Spa downstairs.
Yeah. So I guess we're
Big fans.
I guess we're making enemies.
Well, that's you guys did make that connection. Like I.
Oh yeah, I never even thought about that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I wonder if we have a chat with Russian Spa downstairs, if we actually can get them
Pull a
to
few
be like,
strings,
Hey,
eh?
can you just talk to whoever and get this approved? Maybe.
Make a call.
No, but yeah, boy, I totally forgot to. I know we have it somewhere in the system. We got 32,000 clips we can dig through. But yeah, let's get into your morning after show here, buddy. What was the big moment last night?
Puck drop. Look, this is one of those games, and Connor Garland, I mean, I slayed him in the Tales of the North yesterday, all his transfer requests. And everything. He goes out and pots the opener. Even like, and I know, big moment, but even introducing the players last night, like Vancouver, it's just, what a blasé type of affair there. And Connor Garland,
Yeah.
like nobody really cares. So the big moment, I guess, for me would be the Pettersson goal, 5-1. After Draisaitl makes it 4-1.
Yeah.
As I said, this is a team that can score in bunches. And you may think at that point last night it ain't happening. It's just one of those nights. Draisaitl 4-1. You're thinking, okay, 3 goals midway through the second. And Pettersson not 2 minutes later making it 5-1. I'll say that's when it kind of got away. But
it's weird because it was all like, it was probably over even when Draisaitl scored, but I do think you make a good point that
it can always flip with this team.
They get one, you're like,
you
oh,
never
here
know.
they come.
Couple
Like
more power plays.
We've seen this team storm back in the past. So I do like the Pettersson goal. I'll go with the one that just bounced off of Besser. Like, you just know it's not their night.
And that's why they're not
when
going to
it
come back.
bounces off of a guy and into the back of the net. I mean, that was a tough pill to swallow last night. If you're following along, feel free to chime in here. What was the big moment that happened in last night's game? 780-218-9999.
I guess for you, the Miller goal to make it 7-1 in kind of garbage time for you would be.
Yeah, I mean, that
for
was
fantasy purposes. I mean, again, if you're not winning, you might as well be winning on some front, and so you kind of cheer for those moments, right?
Sailor to the Paris Jewelers inbox right now says, Edmonton Sports Talk slowly will turn into a real-life version of The Office, and I'm here for it. Man, that'd be cool to shoot something like that.
We already have Creed.
Maybe when we get the Practicum kids, their whole role can be to like put together an Office-style documentary.
Like those Practicum kids they brought in near the end of the. Didn't they bring in a few other?
I don't know. I didn't
side
watch every
characters
episode
or
of The
whatever?
Office.
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
the 3 guys.
IT
Well, there was a
guys.
girl and 2 guys. One was the guy that was from like Hot Tub Time Machine and all that.
Yeah.
Which guy from Hot Tub Time Machine?
Like the kid.
Oh, they.
The hair in the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
he was good in Hot Tub Time Machine.
anyone who has seen White Lotus season 1,
Yes, I have.
the guy who was married to like the honeymoon couple,
Yeah.
the guy was the other intern from
Oh,
The
no way.
Office.
He's
the
such
one
a
he
prick
was
in White
married.
Lotus.
Yeah, and he was awesome and like he was loved in The Office because
Yeah.
he was good to Aaron and stuff.
Okay. See, I didn't watch the last few seasons of The Office.
You
I should
didn't
probably
miss
do an
anything.
Office. Okay. Oh, really? Okay. We don't need to
It
get into
should
it
have
right now,
ended
but-
it with Michael Scott Lee.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Well, I love Will Ferrell, but that just
He wasn't good.
Yeah.
Like the character of D'Angelo Vickers.
Was that
good.
his name? That does
I
sound
think it
like
was
a Will
D'Angelo
Ferrell
Vickers.
character.
That night it was at Applebee's or whatever when he's doing the speech.
Hey, spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! I'm gonna have to watch this at some point.
You haven't seen that episode?
He
Oh, man.
says he hasn't watched.
God.
I haven't watched those last seasons. Yeah.
The final couple of episodes, I don't know. I think they wrapped up the show.
Did they bring
nice
Michael
enough.
Scott back at the end? Did he circle back
Well,
around?
do you want a spoiler?
Can we watch it with you here?
Do you know what we should do an Office rewatch show.
I want to see him. I want to watch him
Once
while
a
he's watching
month,
it.
watch an Office episode, once every couple weeks. and then talk about it.
That'd be cool.
Actually, I want to do that with It's Always Sunny because I've never watched it.
You haven't watched Always Sunny? I thought you were one of the people telling me to watch it.
No, it's them. But I think
Always
that
Sunny's great.
with guys who have watched it and then me having never watched it,
Yeah.
We'll bring in the
that could
MCTV
be
crew.
that could be like a 20-minute pod. Quickly throw out there.
Of course it could. Of course it could.
Boom.
We can do anything. All right, let's continue with
And we could do a lot of pods because we're just a podcast company.
Oh, hey, I got
Easy
beef.
now.
7:30 today. Jeez, man. All right, super stat of the night. What's the super stat of the night here?
Well, and in the past, doing this little exercise in the morning after show, sometimes I go for the not so super stat, and going off the Oilers, which we normally do, I'm going to look at the 7-5-0, the save percentages of the two goalies. We've been talking about tandemness. We've been look, and I'm going to this because it's 8-1. The goaltending here is one of the hot topics during the offseason, heading into the season. We're talking William Jennings, this and that. I don't know, and then you got Demko, who pulls himself out of the game just for being sick.
No,
I
you see-
think I've had enough.
See what happened? Puked in his mask.
I know, but
Puked in his mask last night.
what a
Not only did the Oilers get pumped 8-1, they got pumped 8-1 by a team who's got a flu bug right now.
a sick goalie who's like, I've had it. It's been a great game. Thanks for having me out tonight, guys. But I'll puke in my mask and leave. And then you got Campbell and Skinner. 16 shots faced both, and allowing 4 on those. So 7-5-0 both for Skinner and Campbell. Not the ideal night. You at least would have wanted one to have maybe a little higher number if you were seeing both last night. But here we are.
I really don't even care about the goals scored on Skinner. I didn't go back and watch them 9 times. I was just like,
You're
whatever,
not
the game's
analyzing
over.
it.
Who cares? But I kind of felt bad for Jack Campbell. The team just didn't have any oomph last night. When they started the game, McDavid came out first shift, played the body in the corner. Reminiscence of that series against the Kings. Remember he had a big hit in the corner. So he comes out and he has that big hit. I'm like, okay. All right. Everybody's
eyebrows
engaged. Here we go.
Yeah.
Live bet him again. I was like, oh, here we go.
Captain Skate.
But they were a train wreck defensively last night. Absolute train wreck. I do not blame Jack Campbell for what happened last night. And I know a lot of people say, you guys, it's really funny because I'll see a lot of people say, you're too hard on the goaltenders. Some say, what are you talking about? You don't blame Jack Campbell last night. I thought the team was an absolute embarrassment in front of Jack Campbell last night. Pretty much a mercy pull. I'm not too sure why they pulled him in that moment. I didn't think they were going to be coming back in this hockey game. So, that's an interesting one. Super stat of the night for me.
This has got to be JT Miller for you. For you.
I mean, selfishly for
on.
me, the big night for JT Miller was great for hockey pools out there. Man, I thought he had 5 points. They got him listed at 4 right
points,
now.
yeah.
I thought he had a 5-point night. They take a point away? Damn it. Yeah, got to give Brock Besser some love.
There was a
4
point
goals.
there. I know there was this goal correction. I can't remember which one it was, but late last night there was a
I
correction. on
told
one
you,
of the
these
goals.
stats guys are on the take. The Taylor Hall shot that was taken back when I won, and now there's this.
On the
2
tape.
nights in the National Hockey League, and the stats guys are already messing with our minds. Lieutenant Eric's 4th star of the game. Who you going with, buddy?
I say the website's looking great though. It's very.
I actually
user-friendly
don't
now.
mind. I don't
people
mind the website.
bitching
Yeah,
about the NHL.com site over the years. 4th star. So
3
the,
stars were Besser, Miller, and Pedersen.
Dakota Joshua. Good for him, right? I don't getting the last goal and
Scrapping a goal.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not giving it to anybody on the Oilers, so take your pick of any Canuck there. Look, who was it again? Did Demko make one of the? Thatcher Demko, flu game. Remember that night?
Still managed to come through.
Yeah.
38th star of the game last night. If I could give it
Here we
to
go.
every single member of the Oilers blue line, with maybe the exception of Desharnais, who had a fight and somehow finished even on the night. But if I have to single out one guy, I'll go with Bouchard. -3 last night on the Joshua goal. I know the game's over at this point, but have a little fight for the puck. And how many times this year are we going to be sitting here going, Bouchard was soft on that play and Darnell Nurse was nowhere to be seen? You can't play Nurse and Bouchard together.
That's why you say the score thing might be an abnormality here, but this conversation, this isn't the last time, right?
Somebody has to heal Ekholm immediately and put him back with Bouchard. And then put Nurse and Ceci back together. And then Kulak can play with Desharnais/Broberg. Also, Broberg on the penalty kill. Not sure what we're doing here. I don't think he was on it a ton last night, but that's not his game. right now. All right, let's get to Jay Woodcroft. Let's find out what Woody had to say after the game last night here on your morning after show.
Jay,
Not good enough.
you know, practice these guys. You have a long camp. They have a long captain skate. You play 8 preseason games and come out with a game that it looks like they just met each other in the parking lot.
Yeah.
How do you figure that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not good enough. We laid an egg tonight. We all own it. We're all in this one together. And the bottom line is we were at a preseason level of work ethic and a preseason level of execution, all of us. And we got a lesson in regular season work ethic and regular season battle level. And we were not good enough tonight. To a man, every single one of us, not good enough.
So work ethic is the thing that you come too much. Anything tactically that may have been an issue for you?
Well, I mean, I saw us lose a ton of battles. Things that normally are hallmarks of our game did not show up. As I said, I thought it was a preseason level of intensity, preseason level of execution, nowhere near where you need to be in order to win a hockey game in the regular season in the National Hockey League.
Can you explain the reason for the pull tonight? I mean,
No,
obviously
to a man, none of us were good. So, you're talking about pulling the goaltender. I mean, you know, we're at that stage and we're trying to stem the tide a little bit, change momentum. You know, in the end, it didn't work. We didn't get much better as the game wore on. We moved pieces around, all that kind of stuff. In the end, all of us, not good enough.
talked a lot about the importance of Matthias Ekholm since he came in his first real game that you've gamed for the Counted, that he wasn't in your lineup. I mean, how much of that was him not being there, the result tonight?
Well, I mean, he hasn't been here all training camp, so you know, like him not being in the lineup had nothing to do with our level of execution or us losing the amount of battles that we lost. Is he a good hockey player? He's a great hockey player, and he's a big part of our D-core. He's getting better. We missed him tonight, but him not being in the lineup had nothing to do with what we just witnessed. I think all of us take accountability for it. We laid an egg, not good enough.
For a team like yours, there's a lot of Stanley Cup talk around your team outside your room, not inside, outside your room. Can a game like this be a good coaching tool?
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. You know what? In the end, like I said, there's a lot of things wrong with what we just saw out there. You saw it, our players saw it, the coaches saw it, our manager saw it. Not good enough. Not good enough. And we have better. We know it. We laid an egg. We get a chance to work at our game and get another crack at this team on Saturday.
Any update on Dylan Holloway? Left at the very end.
No, I haven't seen him after the game. I haven't talked to the trainers yet. But, you know, I thought that was, for a young player to put his body on the line, that's the type of commitment that you need. And I thought that was a positive play on his behalf.
There you go. That's Jay Woodcroft, courtesy of Oilers TV, breaking down last night's game. We did get a two-a-man in there. I like after opening night getting
Game
a two-a-man.
one, two-a-man.
That's pretty good to get a two-a-man in there. Yeah, look, they missed Ekholm, clearly. And when Ekholm's back, I like how long does the experiment of Bouchard and Nurse have to continue this season? Tried it before, didn't work. I don't know why they've gone back to it, but I would assume it doesn't last for much longer. Those two guys are not built to play hockey together in the National Hockey League. They're both very good players. That's just not something that's going to work.
But what do you do in the meantime, I guess?
Great question. Thank God they traded for Ekholm last year.
Well,
I guess is what we would say. Morning, gents. Campbell starting was the bright spot for him. He did a little sprinkle on him being the starter and won. But overall, the Canucks completely outplayed the Oilers in all facets of the game. That went in from jamming this morning. 780-218-9999. You know, a couple more things to get to. Let's get to a sports update from Lieutenant Eric. When we come back with more of your text messages on this hockey game, I want to dive into that Diamondbacks game quickly so we can unleash a clip that I think you'll be able to use a lot on the Oilers game last night. But we'll certainly get into that. And where do we come out on an optional morning skate being the main issue here? Seems like a crazy discussion to have, but is it a discussion that has to be had.
In this market?
We'll get into that. Let's get to your sports update with LT.
Not the start to the regular season the Oilers would have hoped for. They drop an 8-1 decision out in Vancouver last night. Brock Besser with a 4-goal evening. Leon Draisaitl with the lone goal for Edmonton. Both Jack Campbell and Stuart Skinner each allowing 4 goals on 16 shots faced. Second half of this home and away will go Saturday night from Rogers Place. Elsewhere last night, Austin Matthews with a hat trick. Leafs top the Habs 6-5 in overtime. Connor Bedard with his first NHL goal in a losing cause. Bruins beat Chicago 3-1. Senators drop one on the road in Carolina 5-3 to the Hurricanes. Flames top the Jets 5-3 from Calgary. And a 4-point night for Mikko Rantanen as Colorado defeat the LA Kings 5-2. The Edmonton Oil Kings shut out from Rogers Place last night 7-0 by the Saskatoon Blades. That 6-game homestand continues Sunday afternoon against Red Deer. Over to baseball, where the Phillies grabbed a 2-1 series lead over the Braves with a 10-2 win. Astros punching their ticket to the ALCS with a 3-2 win over Minnesota. And the Diamondbacks, they complete the 3-game sweep of the Dodgers 4-2. Your final, Astros will take on the Rangers in the ALCS. Arizona await the winner of the Phillies-Braves series, which will continue this evening from Philadelphia. And Week 6 in the NFL kicks off from Arrowhead tonight between the Chiefs and Broncos. Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce listed as questionable this morning. You can join me for the game at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. It'll be another chance to qualify into a draw for a trip for 2 to LA to catch the Rams and Browns. The Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.37 on the Nielson Show. Oilers lose post-mortem game 1 happening right now here at Edmonton Sports Talk. Tell your friends about EdmontonSportsTalk.com and let them know we are crystal clear, static-free every single morning right here on YouTube and, of course, on our live audio feed. If you are listening while you're driving to work today or just listening around the house, remember you can text us in the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. Nielsen Show coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studios. Let's get to a few messages in the nasty chat today. Northside Sandwiches, and it says, Nurse and Boosh looked like they never met each other before they were making D-to-D passes in their own end, but they completely missed each other a handful of times. Jen is in and says, it's like the Oilers don't even care that I have to work with 2 Canucks fans today. As if. Ooh, that's a good one.
How about this from Chuck Tastic? Who says the Oilers goalies didn't have the flu? You just couldn't see the mess because it was in their goalie pants.
Ooh.
Knives out.
Poopy pants situation.
That's
tough. That's tough to see. The one thing that I'm most disappointed in last night's game, I still haven't even brought up.
I know. I'm waiting for
I'm
this.
saving it for I Got Beef.
Yeah,
I'm saving it for I Got Beef.
Love it.
Because I got beef with somebody in that organization.
It's eating you up here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is a tease. It's a tease. I got beef. 7:30. Give me some show meat. Let me sit back, chew on a beef piece of jerky from Acme Meats, and really release.
It feels good when you're chewing on that jerky.
Yeah, you feel a little bit better. You're like, I'm
so
so angry, but then you're like, I got this great jerky in my mouth.
stress ball, yeah.
It's awesome. I do want to get to this. Well, you know what? Let's continue that conversation. Does the morning skate? I watched most of the post game last night. I might have missed the part where they dove into the morning skate. Does having an optional morning skate tie into the way they played at all last night?
It shouldn't. Should it?
No, I mean,
like optional. It wasn't like you're.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Because they do take a bunch of optionals during the year and still win those games.
Yeah.
But I feel like for opening night, you go through the regular motions. There is nothing about that game last night that should have been optional, although it looked like effort was. Jay Woodcroft just said it in the postgame. Work ethic wasn't there last night. So, I don't know. We'll ask Gazdic. Gazdic will be by around 7:05 today, and we'll figure out what he thinks about the optional morning skate. And if it for opening day, for the first game of the year, taking an optional morning skate. Weird idea, bad idea, good idea, I don't know.
Say it's an optional excuse this morning. You can use it if you want.
You can use it if
right?
you want.
But I don't think it's like
you don't have to use
it. As you say, it's done. but a little odd. And the whole, buy a ticket to find out who the goalie is, and then the Twitter account announcing who the goalie is or thinking they know who the goalie is. It was all kind of a weird build-up to the game last night for a season opener. I kind of
and they had to play with one less player.
Yeah,
than the other
that's
team.
another thing. Yeah, flu thing going around. I don't know.
So we'll see what ends up happening for this team moving forward. Like I said, if they lose worse than 8-1 this season, I'll be pretty surprised. I honestly don't think they can play worse than they played last night.
But any credit to Vancouver here? I know we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about the enemy. Well,
no, look,
forechecking good. They came out and took it to them.
They buried their chances.
Yeah.
They were really good last night. Their power play went 3 for 6.
Yep.
I think you got to give the Canucks a lot of credit with last night. Now, does my opinion change on what the Canucks are after last night's game?
No.
Not yet. I don't watch the Canucks last night and go, ooh, lock them into a playoff spot.
Yeah.
That hasn't changed.
But good on them. And exposing again, we've talked about the penalty kill with the Oilers. I mentioned the save percentage for both goalies, and I know we're not going to blame them for the outcome of last night. But we've always, they tie in with the defense. If the defense isn't playing well, those numbers dip, and then it's this whole package deal. So we're right back where we kind of left off here.
We could pretty much, after every loss all season, just have a debate. Was that on the goalies or the team in front of them? Last night it was on the team in front of them.
Yeah.
I think there was, I liked Campbell better than I liked Skinner. Neither was one that you're like, he did everything he could. But the team in front of them didn't help them in any way last night.
But you then think sometimes you have that goalie that will steal you results in those situations. Not saying last night was a case like that.
Yeah. Yeah, last night.
But there's also
that
that argument
happens, but last night wasn't that case.
No.
I don't think so. But if you want to chime in, Nasty Chat, or, of course, in the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. The Arizona Diamondbacks hit 4 home runs in 1 inning last night, and it led to a great clip. I was just like, we have to clip this, because after what happened to the Oilers last night, you're going to take this for a run today.
I'm getting a Diamondbacks hat today.
Are you?
I already have one. It's an older one.
Just like all the people who were at the game.
I love it. I'm on the hype train. That's the best thing about baseball is these clubs that just kind of pop up out of nowhere.
Do we have a Diamondbacks-Rangers rivalry right now, you and I?
I want it.
Well, by the way, the Elks were playing Creed yesterday at practice. Hernan sent me a video. He's like, Creed being played right now in the field.
Special Agent Hernan. I love it.
That being said, it's tough to try to use that Creed magic when you've been eliminated from the postseason.
Well, and there's only so much to go around, you think, hey?
That's true. Anyway, listen to this call on the 4th home run of the inning for the Diamondbacks.
So, Christian Walker has the home run erased and then hits the next pitch to the moon. There's your 4th home run.
I've never seen anything like this.
Nor have I.
That's the clip. That's the clip right there. I have never seen anything like this.
I mean, I'll take...
Nor have I. To the moon wasn't bad either. To the moon wasn't bad either.
But yeah,
we got this right here.
I've never seen anything like this.
Nor have I.
I'll start. I'll go first here.
Paired with last night's 8-1 loss, I think.
Nurse and Bouchard trying to play defense together.
I've never seen anything like this.
Nor have I.
What do you got? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Matty Iwanek sleeping at the Edmonton Sports Talk offices last night.
I've never seen anything like this.
Nor have I.
This is going to be good. Let's go. 780-218-9999.
Thatcher Demko pulling himself from the game after puking in his mask.
I've never seen anything like this.
Nor have I.
Nor have I. Send us your nor have I text messages right now. 780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat this morning. Jack, man, Jack never misses out on an opportunity from Pro-Am. He goes, Diamondbacks and Rangers, 5950s from New Era, available at Pro-Am right now. That's our relationship with our clients. You want us to plug something? Just text me. We'll get that in. VR Montenegro says, were they talking about those cheesesteaks?
I've never seen anything like this.
Nor have I.
To the moon. Man, it is Thursday.
To the moon. Jordy's in and says, I just got here, but will there be a Draisaitl goal song today? There will not be a goal song today. Are you nuts, Jordy?
Did you literally just get, you just got to the show, first show ever?
We cannot, a request for a goal song after an 8-1 loss?
I've never seen anything like this.
Nor have I.
You like that to the moon clip, eh?
I don't know. There's just a bit of a
the
levity with that crew. Hey, they're loving it down there in Arizona. That's Cactus League, baby.
780. I think this is how you win text of the day. I think this is how you get your hands on a GC to A and W. Campbell and Skinner's goals against average to the moon.
I've never seen anything like this.
Nor have I.
Keep these coming in. 780-218-9999. Campbell and Skinner sitting in the dressing room after the game last night.
I've never seen anything like this.
Nor have I.
Both guys get rolled out. Both guys finish with a 750. Tough luck last night.
Jags fan, good teams lose games to bad teams. It happens, and the overreaction is absurd. They had an off night, which is inexcusable, but they will be fine.
Okay, reasonable take, guy. That's great. You're probably right. But we're here for the overreaction.
We don't
today.
need this.
But I mean, you're supposed to be. Look, you're supposed to be. Well, they're the Stanley Cup favorite. Odds makers, whoever you want to talk to, go look at it. I said they were going to win the Stanley Cup 3 weeks ago.
We all have been. You say they're not in this market, and you get an odd look.
But you can't. You know what they looked like last night? I'll tell you what they looked like last night. I think I saw this in the nasty chat today. They looked cocky last night. They looked like, hey, we're the Stanley Cup favorites, and we don't need to actually worry about trying to keep the puck out of our own net.
What's the phrase? Reading their own newspaper articles or something along those lines?
Well, it used to be that.
Yeah.
Nobody reads newspapers anymore because they're about this big now and really have nothing inside them.
They've been listening to too many podcasts about themselves. But no, there is a bit of that error, hey? But you have to. They're not there yet to be acting like that. The cockiness, I guess, that you've described.
Well, we said, how are they going to handle that this year? Are you going to roll around like you're the big dog on campus? You're going to try to stay focused. Last night was kind of neither. And Draisaitl taking stupid penalties, like frustration. I thought the McDavid cross-check call was just a weak one.
We had a text around 5:15 from LFC captain asking if Draisaitl is hurt. So
that was actually
a tradition, unlike any other. I played the clip. I
saved that.
It was
one.
a real cheeky comment. I
saved it. It rolled in. Yeah, really early. LSC captain.
Smile at that. Yeah.
Do you guys think Draisaitl is hurt?
I've never seen anything like this.
Nor have I.
Oh, that's too good.
Well done.
That was, I had beef last year with a lot of people. Like after every bad game for Draisaitl, they're like, man, is Draisaitl hurt? What's going on here?
Didn't get him in the autograph line.
With what ended up happening last night. Yeah, well, today you can go get all their autographs at West Edmonton Mall. So it should be. I mean, it'll be a bunch of fans. I really hope there's not some psychos that are up at me and like, hey guys, are you actually going to continue to stick with this defensive system right now, or are you gonna switch it up and go back to what you had last year?
Do you split Nurse and Bush for the signing? Maybe keep them at a different table for this.
Probably can't put them together at a signing table. Mark M is in and says, "How long has Nurse been hurt for?" Tied into the
Yeah, it's here we are. Hockey's back.
Strummy's in. Bumblebee Tuna Boys spending less than $500 at Costco.
I've never seen anything like this.
Nor have I.
And that simply just doesn't happen.
Got some pictures from the Costco outside of the Vancouver Arena last night from a few
saw
fans
that.
there. Yeah, getting that cheap meal prior to the game. I like that setup.
The pregame Costco meal still blows my mind from yesterday's show. It really does. So we do have Luke Gazdic coming up. Steve is in and says, guys, which goalie starts next game? Skinner. Skinner will get the start next game. I don't think my opinion changed on that.
It shouldn't from last night,
I did see some people saying this is on the coach for starting Jack Campbell, and now his confidence is shot for the entire year. Last night's game, correct me if I'm wrong on this. Maybe I'm wrong. But if they start Stuart Skinner last night, does that game go any other way? I don't think so. I mean, you're still giving up a bunch of grade A scoring chances. Like
we mentioned earlier, sometimes it is the goaltender's evening that you can lay the blame and they don't have a good night. And we've seen it before from Campbell, mainly maybe Skinner as well sometimes. But last night it was the defense in front of them. Maybe, I don't know if you want to go so far as to say the team defense, the blue line specifically, and that makes so depending on who you have in there, Campbell, Skinner, whomever. I know somebody was calling for the E-bug, but you couldn't go that route because of cap restraints.
Yeah.
So whomever's in net last night, I think with the way that game was played and the way the Canucks went out and took care of business, I don't think it would so much matter. It's not like Campbell, it wasn't a stinker performance by him in any stretch. But as we said, some nights it's the goalies, some nights it's the team defense in front of them. Last night it was that team defense in front of them.
Bouchard toe drag attempt at your own blue line in the National Hockey League.
I've never seen anything like this.
Nor have I.
Guys, this is ridiculous. I can't believe the Oilers laid an egg like this in the first game of the season. They know they have a goalie in Jack Campbell that has got his confidence back and needs to keep it, and they lay an egg like that. Absolutely unacceptable defensively. That's in from Pill Dickel.
It's not ideal for his confidence, but again, it's not like he was undressed last night.
I hope he's not feeling bad about his game last night.
You can't. And I think the coaching staff, I think the team, like, you can't. I know this show and we're overreacting and having a little fun with it, but I think in that room, you got to understand kind of what transpired last night, and that shouldn't go against his confidence. It's not ideal to start, but
we'll continue this Oilers conversation with Gazdic just after 7 o'clock, and we'll get to the bottom of it. Did they get crushed last night because they didn't have a morning skate? Because it was an optional morning skate? Luke will let us know. He'll be by around 7:05 today. More of your text messages.
To the bottom of it. Like,
yeah, well, we have to get to the bottom of it.
That's
That's why we're here, right? This is why they call it a forensic audit. This is why it's a post-mortem, right? We're laying the body out on the slab. And we're laying the body out on the slab right now, and we're digging into it.
It's still kind of warm.
I open up the spleen
cavity,
and you look inside and you go, well, Nurse is way over here and Bouchard's over here. Something's wrong with this body.
That doesn't look right at all.
Dallas Aikens looking at highlights of Woodcroft's new defensive scheme last night.
I've never seen anything like this.
Nor have I.
That's a deep cut. That's a deep cut. I do want to flip over. I do want to talk about the top level, the upper bowl at Commonwealth being closed next year. It'll lead to, hopefully, what they're trying to do here is lead to a better atmosphere in the lower bowl. What did we see yesterday? Capacity lower bowl, 31,000?
31.
Okay, so 31,000, which puts it on par with a few of the other stadiums in the league right now. Rick, your initial thoughts? I saw the reaction. I was on the Elks Facebook page late last night, and I'm kind of digging through a bunch of the comments. I know there's a bunch of people who are pissed off. I know there's a bunch of people who think it's a great idea to try to improve atmosphere at the game. Which side of this do you come out of?
Yes, and as you mentioned, there are lots of opinions, and everybody that goes to a live sporting event these days wants it tailor-made for them specifically. And, and I understand that. You're paying money and everything, but sometimes it's not how life works. And in this case, there are a few, I saw season ticket holders with seats up in the upper. And from that point of view, yeah, I'd be a little, change. Nobody likes change in that regard. However, and I think Gazzola mentioned it off-air yesterday, just around the offices here at EST. This is like a kid that gets a toy taken away. And you get that toy back when you demonstrate that you... look, it's cavernous when you have the upper bowl open. Yeah. You're there. And I get it. You can go up there and kind of disappear and do nefarious things. I don't encourage that, but that's kind of what goes on. But from a club standpoint, you're paying for security. You've got everything going on up there that you have to kind of... You close it down. You put that stuff over top.
Would you tarp it, or did they plan on tarping
advertising tarp? No,
I'd love to see them tarp it.
Yeah,
so that you can't even see the empty seats.
I think it'd be a nice look.
Green and gold tarps all the way along.
I would assume don't expect that to happen due to the cost.
Yeah,
to have tarps for all of that upper area.
Look, I know
would cost money.
I know Bruce from William Huff has a great relationship with the Elks. Maybe he just somehow wraps the seats to look like they're tarped off or something.
I just
that
know people
again is going to cost money though, and I don't know if the Elks have that.
You not do a sponsor with get a logo on there from a company.
They should just get a massive sponsor on both sides, and then we get that overshot, a high shot from Commonwealth. It's like boom,
make a little money.
Maybe we could talk. Let's talk to the boys and see if we can get Edmonton Sports Talk banners to cover the entire top levels. That would be pretty incredible. We'll do it on a contra. We'll give them 100 years of free advertising.
I think that's the first thing you mentioned to Rick later this morning at 8 o'clock. Rick,
where are we at on a contra deal for us to sponsor the tarps in the Upper Bowl.
I like the idea here to bring people closer to the. I mean, look, I get you get the big view up there too, but it's blimp view on college football's national. Like it's you get down there, you create the atmosphere, you get that ticket again, and I like the idea. I do, however, understand that certain individuals are a little prickly to it because they've been experiencing games as they were. So I get that.
I'm not the guy who sat up in the top level for 20 years and you don't want to sit anywhere else. You like to go up there. There's more space.
Familiarity.
Got a better view of the game. I mean, most views of the game at Commonwealth are pretty good anyway. I've seen it, from a broadcast perspective, what they've done at BC Place. Mm-hmm. And then at BC Place, there's a buzz when you're like, opening up the top level because tickets are almost sold out down low. There's nothing to say that you could never use it unless, of course, we get our Edmonton Sports Talk tarps up there and we don't want anybody touching it. There's nothing to say that you'll never be able to open it up again. But I think, so if they have 22,000 at a game, well, you guys were there this year. How many people do you think are sitting up top? Oh. Let's say there's 24,000 at a game. How many of those are up top? 2,000?
Extremely scattered as well.
3,000? Less? More?
I was going to say closer to maybe 8 or so.
8,000 up top?
Maybe 5 around there. There's a lot that sit
man,
up there.
If
I sat up there a lot this year.
5,000 from up top and force them down low, that's going to be great. It's going to look awesome.
I sat up there with Mooner a lot this year.
Is that where Mooner sits?
Cam Mooner has his tickets in the Upper Bowl.
You know why, though?
Great seats. Great view.
He's extremely popular, and he has to stay away from everybody who's hounding him.
Oh, totally. He likes to look up.
That's right.
And having sat in his seats many times this year. I've sat in the Upper Bowl a lot. I love the Upper Bowl. It's a great vantage point to me to watch those games. And I understand where people are going that it sucks to lose those vantage points. Losing the Upper Bowl. If you're a longtime fan of this team, the South Concourse, that used to be a great spot to watch the game.
It was awesome down there.
But they now put all those, quote unquote, not suites, but like the loge tables, if you will. And I understand why they did that as well. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's the money and it's the experience and all that. So, but I get it from a longtime fans that you feel like some of the best seats are going away, that they're being taken from you in a sense. But at the same time, something's got to change with this. You've got to build. When you have 5,000 plus seats, there's no urgency to go buy a ticket to an Edmonton Elks game because you always know I could just go get a ticket. They're not selling 55,000 tickets. Now, if it's 31,000, there's a chance they might sell out. There's a chance they might get to that point where, okay, well, even if you want to go and there's only a few tickets left, you're not going to get a lot of choice in where you're sitting with those. And for the team in itself, to have everyone closer to the field when they make noise, that just is better for the players.
Yeah.
So I understand why some people would be upset and are upset by this. I have a little bit of sadness that this is happening because this is a proud franchise of history that should never have come to this. But this is where we are, and it's the right move in the end.
Look, LeLacheure's coming in here to be interim president for as long as is necessary. He came from BC where they did this, and they've obviously seen success with it, so he wants to take that here. So I like it, but I totally understand where people are coming from who've sat up top forever and are extremely frustrated with how it's ending up.
But give the lower bowl a shot, I would say. Give it a chance.
Yeah, I mean, if
maybe
it's a great atmosphere,
tradition. It grows on you, right?
If you look at crowd, like IG gets about 31 in a sellout. Like this is what it a 30,000 seat stadium is what the Canadian Football League should have, right? And for a Grey Cup, you want to open up the top and pack 55 in.
Option to
awesome.
add.
That's great. But I think this is overdue. I like the move. We'll see how it plays out for the club. And we'll get into it with LeLacheur when he joins us. We'll get to an update here in just a second. I like this one. Why doesn't William Huff wrap the Upper Bowl to make it look like people are sitting in the seats?
I'm sure they
full
could.
COVID seats.
Somebody else is saying cardboard cutouts.
Bundesliga,
yeah. Can we do that as well? Oh, and this is a good one too. Guys, great cheap tarps at Uncle Wiener's Discount Warehouse. Somebody in the Nasty Chat said it's $30,000 for a tarp to cover one section. That's pricey. I think it's out of our budget. take it off the agenda meeting.
For one section?
For one section.
Oh,
We can't do 30 grand for one section. Are you nuts?
thinking about it.
I think we all take a little bit of a cut.
A little cut, yeah.
We shave a little off of our salaries.
This is here.
We
Hello?
fire YouTube Trev.
YouTube Trev, you're fired.
Well, he works for free for the year,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
we go from there. Trev, we're
Screw Vegas and the Sphere. We're going from there, right? Like that's where you put the money.
We'll see. We'll see. Maybe we can conjure one tarp for one section.
maybe we go fund me for that one.
Yeah. Let's do a GoFundMe for $30K to have a tarp in the upper level.
We'll put the EST logo there and all the names of everyone who donated.
The whole thing.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
12 people.
Get your name on the tarp. Heritage tarp.
All right, we're going to get back to the Oilers with Luke Gazdic. He's coming up, but a sports rewind with Lieutenant Eric. Let's dive into this bad boy right now.
Well, at the start to the regular season, the Oilers would have wanted last night. They drop an 8-1 decision out in Vancouver. Brock Besser with a 4-goal night for the Canucks. Leon Draisaitl, the lone goal for Edmonton on the power play. Both Jack Campbell and Stuart Skinner each allowing 4 goals on 16 shots faced. The second half of this home and away will go Saturday night from Rogers Place. Other action last night, a 4-point night for Mikko Rantanen as the Avs knock off the Kings 5-2. Flames top the Jets 5-3 down in Calgary. Senators, they drop one on the road in Carolina 5-3 to the Hurricanes. Connor Bedard picking up his first NHL goal in a losing cause. Bruins beat Chicago 3-1. And Austin Matthews recording a hat trick. Leafs top the Habs 6-5 in overtime. Edmonton Oil Kings shutout from Rogers Place 7-0 by the Saskatoon Blades. The 6-game homestand will continue Sunday afternoon against the Red Deer Rebels. Over to baseball, the Phillies grabbed a 2-1 series lead over the Braves with a 10-2 win. Astros advancing to the ALCS with a 3-2 win over Minnesota. And the Diamondbacks, they advance to the NLCS, sweeping aside the Dodgers. 4-2 your final. Astros, they'll face the Rangers in the ALCS. Arizona await the winner of the Phillies-Braves series, which will continue this evening from Philly. In Week 6 in the NFL, getting underway tonight from Arrowhead between the Chiefs and Broncos. Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce listed as questionable this morning. You can join me for the game at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. There'll be another chance for you to qualify into a draw for a trip for 2 to Los Angeles to catch the Rams and Browns. The Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day. This Sports Rewind brought to you by Universal Rewind, industrial electric motor sales and service, servicing many industries we rely on daily, from agriculture and aggregates to food processing and industrial manufacturing. Choose expertise, experience, quality. Choose Universal Rewind.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
I've never seen anything like this. Nor have I.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Hour number 2 on the Nielson Show. Tell your friends the AM Nasty is back and better than ever because there's no more strings on me. What is that? Pinocchio?
Is that what
I think
it is?
I'm pretty sure that's a Pinocchio song.
That's Toy Story or something.
And he's hi, I'm a real boy.
You love that quote.
I do love it. I love it. You're a monster.
You do it really well.
That's thanks,
it's,
man.
It's a very good.
You were watching Lost while we were unemployed for the summer. I was working on Pinocchio quotes.
Full character. You'd get dressed up and everything, right in the mirror.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 I got the big
Spare no
nose.
expense. Yeah.
I go around lying to everybody.
Funny hat.
Go to the bad island that still scares me in the movie if I want to. Pinocchio is quite a trip. Pinocchio was quite the ride. All right, you can hit us up in the nasty chat this morning. This one says, "Wait, guys, YouTube Trev was getting paid." Yeah, he's. You know what he's getting paid in? Valuable experience. All right, that's what
We've
you do.
all heard
with,
that one before.
That's
eh?
what you do with practicum.
Yeah,
kids,
yeah,
right? You know what you're going to be paid in? You're going to be paid in knowledge.
And we're going to tax you on it as well. What?
Jennison says, "Hey, crowdfund that tarp. I'm in for $10K. So we just need 2 more folks. That's it."
Hey, we're a third there.
Well, this is going to be way easier than I thought.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, if you guys donate $100,000 by the end of the show, Tommy Gazzola will shave his head.
I think we'll have this thing wrapped by 8 o'clock and Rick LeLacheur coming on.
Yeah.
We'll get to tell him, hey,
Rick, congratulations. We've crowdsourced $150,000 in the first 2 hours of the show this morning. You can leave the upper bowl open. It'd be nice to be able to do that. That'd be pretty nice to do that.
Don't know if we'll get there.
Luke Gazdic is going to join us. We got lots coming up here in hour number 2, as per usual. Cool Bet hotline of the day. I think we could hit hockey tonight. We'll see where Mr. Lean is headed. We had a merging yesterday of the Cool Bet hotline and Mr. Lean all in on Leon Draisaitl. We cashed it. They lose that bad, but the one goal they get is the one that we needed to cash.
Got to take a W.
14 ticket, which worked out extremely well. So we'll get into that as we work our way through the show today. Nasty Chat is where you can get us. Paris Jewelers Inbox is where you can get us. And, of course, we're coming to you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studios. And DoorDash, skip the dishes. Uber Eats, pop on by. Get yourself some sweet and spicy wings, crispy breaded wings, spicy ghost pepper seasoning, a little sweet chili sauce tossed on top there as well. All right, Luke Gazdic is going to join us. Brought to you by our great partners at Pro-Am Sports, your go-to source for the new Oilers Heritage Classic gear. From jerseys to hats and everything in between, they've got you covered. Visit them in store on San Albert Trail, 1 block north of Yellowhead, or online at proamsports.ca. I do want to get Jack in studio with us because I want to talk to Jack about like the ups and downs. Like, Oilers win 8-1 last night. Pro-Am's got like a lineup outside today to go in and get jerseys. Oilers lose last night, and Jack and Ken are just sort of hanging out selling baseball hats online.
And there's me buying the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, exactly. It's a wild rush. Let's go to one of Sportsnet's newest stars, Luke Gazdic, on the panel a couple nights ago. You clean up well, my man. How you doing?
Good to get the opening night out of the way, eh?
How many suits do you have lined up for the season? I got to know.
It's over 10 now. That's the best part about working there, man. Honestly, you get fitted before the year, and we have a stylist there, and I get to work, and they already have them laid out for me. It's the best part of my job, man.
And they have them laid out for you?
Like, Deb, our stylist, she has different shirts and tie. She does shirt and tie combos for me, a couple options depending on what I want to go with. So that's honestly the coolest part about working there, man.
Man, what a big deal. Like when I first started calling football games for TSN, I did have one email exchange with a stylist. And I think that after that, they just gave up on me. They're just like, you know what, dude? Just wear whatever you want. You're only on camera for like 2.5 minutes in the entire broadcast. So I guess that does make sense. Luke Gazdic with us. You can find him on Sportsnet panel. He's got his podcast as well. Look, man, it's been an interesting morning after what happened last night. What's your biggest takeaway from the Oilers getting spanked last night in the season opener?
Honestly, I'm surprised. I think I'm as surprised as everybody. Like I think it says a lot about the Canucks too. Like, damn, they look really good. They were clicking, they were buzzing. Like even from the first puck drop, I think it just started for me. Like Connor had the big hit first.
Yes.
Vinny goes out and fights, and I was like, all right, okay, the boys are picking up steam here. And then it just started to fall apart. And for a team, I know how much even from last night has been said. Like from a team that showed up early and was clicking and looked good towards the end of preseason, it was just so disappointing to see, because sometimes it's a system thing and sometimes some things have to be tweaked, and I'm gonna try not to go too hard on some guys here, but it was just honestly it was an effort thing, and it was a team that got outworked, got out battled, got out muscled, and on the score sheet got outscored.
Look, we had the discussion yesterday prior to the game. They took an optional morning skate ahead of the first game of the season. I don't know how much that impacts. That's why we were happy to have you on today. And you'll see reaction from fans, whether it's in our text line, on message boards, on the YouTube chat. Tell us, does that impact what we saw last night in any way, man?
Like it shouldn't at all, because morning skate is nothing. Morning skate is 15 minutes of clicking around, but it has been a staple for a long time. Like the entire time I was in the NHL, the idea of optional skates was not a thing, unless it was on a back-to-back. Well, we'll say that. Optional skates were never a thing for me, ever. I was, regardless of a back-to-back, I was always out there, baby. But It always tended to be with more veteran teams too. Like a team like the Pens this year, I would estimate that almost every skate for them would be optional. But especially when I played there, I know Connor and Leon liked getting out there and snapping it around in the morning. So this might have been something that they wanted to try and see if they could go forward with that. Connor's a pretty superstitious guy, so I don't know if that's gonna change. It shouldn't affect it though, Dusty. Like none of the onus should be put on whether they had a skate in the morning or not. Like if anything, it should have made them better because you can use the excuse that maybe the legs weren't there or they went too hard in pregame skate, but it really is nothing. It's a couple drills. You've been there in the morning. It's guys snapping it around for 10, 15 minutes, getting a couple tips or whatever you need. It's mostly for the goalies. So take what you want with that, but. Yeah, for me, it was more of a mandatory thing and it's something they wanted to try, but I'm assuming going forward that they're probably going to skate now.
Well, now that we've got that whipping boy out of the way, the optional skate, no, that doesn't mean anything. I want to know now, Luke, what happened last? We talked team defense with this team and goaltending, and some nights it's one, some nights it's the other, some nights it's a combination of the two, making each other look bad. And you quite rightly mentioned, I thought Vancouver as well played a nice, good forechecking game last night, went out and did what they did, battling the flu. But what was it from the Oilers last night? Was it specifically goaltending? We saw both of the tandem last night. 4 goals, 16 shots. Team defense, again, as I mentioned, discussed, a lot in this market over the last couple of seasons. Or was it just the omission of one Matthias Ekholm last night? You punch him back into the lineup and everything's, here we go to the Stanley Cup parade. What was the big thing that stuck out to you last night in the loss? Outside of the optional skate.
Had a couple good ones there. It was just their defensive game. It was their effort on the defensive side of the puck, and a lot to be said for getting some big saves early. I'm not going to go after Jack, but Thatcher Demko made some huge saves early, and that says so much to the confidence of your team. And I know Petey makes that 4.5 soft pass across the entire offensive zone, and then Garland goes forehand, backhand under the bar, but I mean, if you get a save there or even on the Besser, that's a sick shot. Like far side cheese, that's a tough one for Soup to save, but just a couple big saves early can really help, help your team. But it was just honestly their effort on the defensive side of the puck was gross. I don't love going after players in particular because I was one, but even like that Joshua goal towards the end, like Boost just kind of getting steered all the way and then gets pushed past the goal line. Like that was a microcosm of the whole game for me. There was no pushback. There was no physicality. And even when they got down a couple, you could just tell that they were losing steam, like mentally. And yeah, for me, it was just, there was just no pushback. And especially on the D side of the puck, there wasn't enough just grit and battle in their game.
Glad you brought up that Bouchard play last night because on that goal I saw and I just was like, oh man, like I tweeted about it last night. I said Bouch was super soft on that play and Nurse was in chase mode, and I'm curious because they've tried Nurse and Bouchard together in the past. I see why they want it to be a thing, but when Ekholm is healthy, would you put him back with Bouchard? Because we know last year, like that was a really steady pairing last year.
All for the Ekholm Bouchard, or sorry, Ekholm Broberg pairing, but I think you're exactly right. I know it's only one game, but I don't think you can go back with Nurse and Bouch in that pair together. You got to try something different. Maybe throw Cease back with Nursey, but I think that's just understating too exactly how much Ekholm means to the entire D-corps. It's not even just him as an individual player; it's how much he brings up and elevates everyone's game around him. I think putting Bouch back there is the right play, and I know it's just one game, but man, that was a tough outing from that pair. It's just Bouch for me just has to, just be tougher on pucks and just like be more physical. He got out battled, out muscled on forechecks, and you just got to have a little more FU to his game,
Yeah, he's not a small dude. I mean, there's some decent size there, right? He can push back against a lot of these guys. Now, look, we've talked about, they gave up 8 last night. Obviously, that's going to be a major discussion point. They also did only score 1. What did you think of them? I don't want to take anything away from Demko. You mentioned it. He made some pretty good saves before puking in his mask and having to leave the game late when it was already under control. But what did you think of the Oilers offensively last night?
Anything going sustained. I thought the first power play, they're trying to snap it around, and I think you have to give some rope to that power play and let them use their skill and try some plays. But at the end of the day, like, what's stopping them from just getting it up to Bush? Bush walk the line and hammer it, like getting some shot attempts towards the net. It was just a little too cute in a couple of areas. The only line that was really sustaining any offensive pressure was Holloway and Fogues and Cloutier, and I wish that Fogues could finish every now and then. He'd have 30 goals in this league if he could finish. But those guys were really the only line that was sustaining any offensive zone pressure. It was just every time it was the play dying down low, and like we said, credit to Thatcher Demko, man. That is a grade A example of a Vezina caliber goalie making timely saves when they have to be made. The power play should be a positive thing for them. And just early, it was just a little bit too much of trying to snap it around. And I just wish they would just hammer it to the net a couple more times and at least try to get it there.
Before we move on, I want to talk about that Habs Leafs game last night as well. But, here in the media, we'll beat this game down for the next 2 days. And then as an asterisk, basically after everything we say, we'll just go, it's just one game. It's just one game. From a player's perspective, put us back in your player's shoes. Like, how easy is it to just have one game? Just move past one game.
Some stinkers in my day, especially in Edmonton. We had a couple bad ones. I remember losing 8-1, 8-2 to Calgary on a Hockey Night in Canada at home on Saturday. Listen, those things are tough to put past you, but that really shows the maturity and confidence of a team if you can. I think it's a really good thing that it's Vancouver again in 2 days. I think that will play into their hand. I feel bad for those boys having to go sign autographs at West Ed for a couple hours and hear it from Edmonton faithful. But no, for me, I mean, I tried not to bring a lot home and maybe stew on it that night and come to the rink with a clean mind the next morning, which I'm sure they're going to do. That can work in a 2-3-1 game, but man, this is a tough one to go by. And I know we're saying, Dusty, it's one game. And I think these guys will be just fine. I'm glad that it's Vancouver. I'm glad that they're going back home. I think they'll be just fine, but those things are not easy to get over. So they're going to grind the tape, grind the video, and have Woody give them a piece of his mind. And I'm sure they'll be better, but holy, that's tough to that's going to be tough to get over.
Former Oilers sports and analyst, host of the Mid-Top podcast, joins us here, Luke Gazdic, on the Nielsen Show today. If you are listening live online, you can text us 780-218-9999. He's brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. Habs and Leafs, they usually provide us with some dramatics in season openers, and we certainly got that last night. I know you're in Toronto. I'm not going to make the plan the parade joke, but I'm sure people are loving what Austin Matthews brought to the table last night.
Plan the parade jokes. It's a team that, I mean, it's typical Toronto, letting in 5 and winning in 6 in a shootout. But there's your star, Austin Matthews. I know I saw your tweet last night about the goal scorer. Austin Matthews, the best goal scorer in the league, but he showed it last night, man. He's just a pure goal scorer, and their top 6 is electric, and they showed it last night. Very quiet Toronto crowd, but that's an electric top 6. They're going to have trouble keeping the puck out of their own zone if Samsonov's going to play like that and he's going to turn over pucks like they did. But what a showing from 34. He's just electric every time he gets on the ice. But can't be giving up 5 to a team like Montreal and think that's going to be sustainable, at least in the first part of the season here.
Guys, as always, man, really appreciate it. We'll catch up again next Thursday. When are you back on the panel?
Boys, talk to you Central, 6:30.
All right. Well, we'll be watching, man. We'll see you later. There you go. That is Luke Gazdic. He's using those AirPods still. He has a mic. He's just waiting for a USB cable, and then he'll have that mic if you were just missing, like, right at the very beginning of his answers. The one thing he did say in there, I know it's been, like, bash the team after a big loss day, But he did make a good point. McLeod, Holloway, and Fogle were actually pretty consistent last night. And he did mention, Fogle could bury one every once in a while. Fogle made that. There was that one play. It's like when Kulak took off up the ice. I was like, is that 27 or 97? Right? Early in the game, things haven't gone bad yet. You're seeing Kulak take off with the puck. Fogle made the one play where the puck kind of came to him in the slot. He quickly grabbed it, turned, and put it on net. I was like, yeah, that's a nice play by Fogle. If we're looking for positives last night, now the negative to that is Dylan Holloway had to leave the game after blocking a shot, and there's no update. And, I mean, that's going to be a major blow for a guy who's just trying to stay healthy. But
given the time of the game it was and everything such as that. But, yeah, I mean, if you want to draw a positive, sure. Let's look at the kid line, eh?
Yeah. I don't know if we can include Fogle being a part of a
I love
kid
it.
line
That makes it
anymore,
even
right?
better. I really...
Yeah. Let's see here. Joe Belineski says, when are we going to acknowledge Gaz being one handsome devil? You talking about Tommy Gazzola or Gazdic? I guess we're talking about Luke at this point. I can't believe he gets the suits laid out for him when he rolls in. Man, what a life. What a life. Guys, I said it last year and the preseason this year. Bouchard's PP neutral zone drop pass is too slow and predictable. And what does he do? Immediately turns it over. LOL. You're LOLing at power play turnovers. You're not wrong. I mean, it's going to come back to bite him a couple of times this year. I'm pretty sure there'll be a couple of shorthanded goals because of a slow neutral zone drop when literally everybody on the planet and people probably watching games on other planets know that the play is to drop it back to Connor McDavid in that situation.
They probably hit those rink advertisements as well, hey? Doesn't matter which planet you're on.
Yeah.
We can all unite with hitting the rink board advertisements.
Fogle is like the time Steve Buscemi dressed up as a high school skater.
Backwards cap, skateboard. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for there.
That's a pretty Huffy the Clown. That's a nice reference, man. That's a nice reference. Brad Bay is in and says, good thing it's just one game. Hey, guys, Ben Gleason, anyone? No, we can't. Look, as bad as last night went, and everybody knows I'm a huge pro Gleason guy. You can't be putting out the bat signal for Gleason yet. The one thing that I got beef coming up here in about 10 minutes. And the one thing that probably disturbed me the most about last night's game, I have not discussed yet, and nobody else has brought up yet. And this is what I looked at last night's game and I went, oh, come on, guess. Guess what we haven't talked about yet that I think was the worst thing that happened last night. Go ahead, 780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat this morning. Any inklings, Lieutenant Eric?
The puck drop time.
I didn't even pay attention to puck drop time. If you're getting rattled about puck drop time, you need to have more things going on in your life.
I'll have more things going on in my life. The optional skate, we talked about that.
Nope, not optional skate.
The flu.
Not the flu. Not puking in a mask.
It's the captain's skate. You're going back to the
it's not the captain's skate. It's let's see if somebody
can get the beef.
Somebody, what's that?
Do you want me to get the beef?
Well, we'll get the beef at 7:30.
Let me know. I'll get the beef.
We'll get the beef at 7:30. Let's see here. Vinny looked like a ninth defenseman last night. That's in from Megabird. He might have looked like a ninth defenseman. And I know plus minus is a lame stat, but he's the only defenseman that wasn't a minus last night. So I guess if you're looking to maybe not blame somebody for something. This text is in 780-218-9999. It's got to be the captain's ceremony. No, let them have their moment. Let them have their moments. Rolled out Trevor Linden and Sedin and the whole crew.
Yeah, it's their home
Good
opener.
for them. Good for them. It's their home opener, right? How can we here in Edmonton be like, man, the Canucks are looking way too much to the past? Like, you simply can't do that.
Are you reading guesses? If
I'm
somebody
looking
guesses
at
it
you.
right, you will read
Never
the right
called
one.
a timeout. Yeah.
Okay, that's not it.
No, that's not it. There's other things. This one's in says Kulak looked bad. Yeah, that's not it. I see somebody's
got it?
Yeah, but don't bring it up yet because I got beef.
Yeah.
I got beef. It's the same bloody thing every time. Game one. Guys, Kane, Hyman, and Nuggy largely ineffective. Dusty, is it goaltending? Is it Dry's pissy pants or pissy penalties? Yeah, you know what? That was a bad look. That was a pretty bad look. Like, your team's down. You know, if your team's down and you've got like a Fogle dropping the gloves with somebody, Or, you know what was a positive, actually? I like Connor Brown's game last night. Connor Brown seems to have that engine that kind of goes.
Sure.
I think that's a positive. Look at us coming up with all these positives from last night's game. Connor Brown looks like he's got some jump and some consistency in his game.
To a man.
The McLeod line looked okay. But yeah, I think people are starting to know where I'm going to go on this. So we'll get to that with I Got Beef coming up here around 7:30 because it's game one, and I was just like, oh man, like nothing has changed. So we'll go now. Nothing has changed could be a good thing because they were a really good team down the stretch last year. I'm not saying it's an awful thing, but it's too early for what I saw last night. All right, let's get into the cool bet hotline of the day here, boys. When you're on a heater, you got to keep things rolling. We got Rapoport coming up, one of the best NFL insiders in the biz. We'll get to all the injury reports for Thursday Night Football because we'll be betting that. We'll get to the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge Challenge as well. We will go there around 7:45 after I Got Beef today. The Denver Broncos are a 10.5-point underdog against the Kansas City Chiefs on the road. Chiefs at home here. They're a minus 625 money line favorite. I mean, that's not even worth it. Mind you, I will say, just a quick little teaser here, I'm probably throwing Niners money line in on like every other bet I make between now and when that game happens. So I'm hoping I have like 5 or 6 bets just pending on the Niners money line against the Cleveland Browns. So I do like that. What do you want, guys? Should we go football tonight? Should we go to the National Hockey League? Mr. Lean. Oh, by the way, my daughter is writing she's writing Mr. Lean rhymes now. I got home yesterday. I wonder if I can bring this up and just play it into the mic. It was I got home yesterday. Yeah, here we are. I don't know if this will work, but let's give it a go. Let's see. This is the Muzz with a Mr. Yeah, here. Yeah. Let's do this. I don't know why.
You can connect to the Bluetooth.
What's that?
You connect.
I think this might work here. Let's just try.
Okay,
this.
Go the weirder way.
Mr. Lean has a body like a teen.
That's my 6-year-old daughter. And then she goes, I got more. So like Elizabeth's spending her time coming up with Mr. Lean rhymes, which is amazing. What a brilliant 6-year-old, you know?
It's like those writers in the 90s country hits that don't get the fame, but they're the ones that come up with these songs, all the lyrics and all this. This is
by the way, new Achy Breaky podcast dropping later today. All right, Mr. Lean, what do you got?
Well, I'm going football.
You want to go football tonight, eh?
I'm going football. Trying to find some value in this one. The one I look at is a player prop.
Okay.
Rushing yards. Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes rushing yards?
They got a 21.5.
Wait, did you say Patrick Mahomes rushing yards?
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this.
Nor have I.
Okay, so it's at 21.5?
21.5, minus 120.
Okay.
And this season, in the 5 games he's played, he's gotten over 22 yards or more 4 times out of 5.
Oh, Mr. Lean.
So if you're looking
stats
for
we've never seen.
Minus 120, I should say. Minus 120 for this game, finding some sort of value somewhere. The other thing I was looking at was, which one did I see? The Chiefs are minus 104 for first quarter spread at minus 3.5. So if they have a touchdown lead after the first quarter at minus 104.
That's a good one, too.
But I'm leaning for the Patrick Mahomes rushing yards over 21.5.
I mean, I would be fine for the cool bet hotline of the day just to put the Chiefs at minus 10.5 to roll the Broncos in this game. Do you guys think the Broncos keep it close at all? I know we've got. You're not going road dog on us after 7:30, are you?
It seems so absurd that Jets Chiefs, right? What was it, Sunday night? It was a Sunday nighter.
Yeah.
New York Chiefs are going to roll them. It's going to be.
Yeah, they caused some issues, yeah.
And again, the Jets aren't the Broncos. Jets have a good defense and all this. The Chiefs, I think Huss has talked about it with you too. Big Chiefs fan. Like they're winning. They're doing well. But I'm trying
they
to
haven't
make a
been
case.
they haven't been like crushing offensively.
Yeah,
and this is why I kind of like the lean on the Patty Mahomes. What did we say it was over 21.5?
Mm-hmm.
Over he has nobody to throw the ball to. Like Travis Kelce been banged up this week. Looks like he's going to play. We'll get the official sort of status update from Rapoport. But the receiving group that the Kansas City Chiefs have put together right now is one of the worst in the National Football League. They can't get open, which forces Mahomes to have to run the ball a little bit more. So I think I'm with Mr. Lean on this one again. And it worked yesterday. In the fact that we were both on it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just see some touchdown scores before we lock this in. Let's see here. Pacheco -1. I do like Pacheco -137 to get a touchdown tonight. Kelsey -149 for a tutty. Let's do it. Let's cheer for Patrick Mahomes rushing yards tonight. Let's lock that in. That's your Cool Bet hotline of the day. So you go to Cool Bet. If you're not yet signed up for an account, use the code LOCKSHOP when you do, and you can find Patrick Mahomes rushing yards under the player rush yards tab and go over 21.5 at -120. That's your Cool Bet hotline of the day. More on the Lock Shop today. I'll be joined by Pat Gregoire. Huss is traveling today, so me and Patty, we're going to chop it up. We'll get some CFL picks for you. We'll dive into some National Hockey League reaction from last night today on the Lock Shop at 11 o'clock, and we'll give you a bunch of picks, a bunch of plays, build some parlays for the Thursday Nighter as well. Of course, you can join Eric tonight for the Thursday Nighter, Chiefs and Broncos at Century Casino on Fort Road. Rapoport coming up here in about 15 minutes. Let's get to a sports update for Park Mazda. Lieutenant Eric has that coming your way right now.
Oilers dropping the season opener on the road last night, 8-1 out in Vancouver. Leon Draisaitl with the lone goal for Edmonton. Both Jack Campbell and Stuart Skinner each allowing 4 goals on 16 shots faced. Second half of this home and away goes Saturday night from Rogers Place. Other action last night, Connor Bedard notching his first NHL goal in a losing cause. Bruins defeat Chicago 3-1. Austin Matthews with the hat trick. Leafs top the Habs 6-5 in overtime. Senators fall on the road 5-3 in Carolina. Flames top the Jets 5-3 down in Calgary. And a 4-point night from Mikko Rantanen saw the Avalanche defeat the Kings 5-2. Oil Kings shut out on home ice last night 7-0 by the Saskatoon Blades. The 6-game homestand will continue Sunday afternoon against the Red Deer Rebels. Over to baseball, Phillies grabbing a 2-1 series lead over the Braves with a 10-2 win. Astros, they're off to the ALCS following a 3-2 win over Minnesota. And the Diamondbacks complete the 3-game sweep of the Dodgers 4-2. Astros will face the Rangers in the ALCS. Arizona await the winner of the Phillies-Braves series, which will continue this evening from Philadelphia. Week 6 in the NFL kicks off tonight from Arrowhead between the Chiefs and Broncos. You can join me for the game at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. It'll be another chance for you to qualify into a draw for a trip for 2 to LA to see the Rams and Browns. Also tonight, smoked brisket cheesesteak night. The Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day. This sports update is brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki. When asked about the dealership, Mitch has been known to say, "I come here when I have lady troubles," which means I come here every night.
Oh my god.
Why am I looking at that?
Wait, why are you slowing down?
Frank?
No way. Frank?
Hey, honey. Hey.
What on earth are you doing?
We're streaking. We're going up through the quad to the gymnasium.
Who's streaking?
There's more coming.
Frank, get in the car.
Everybody's doing.
Now.
Okay.
Lease the all-new 2024 Mazda CX-90 inline 6 turbo or plug-in hybrid to have room for absolutely everybody with its third row seating. Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
$7:33 on the Nielson Show. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Weather-wise in Edmonton today, we are looking for a high of about 16 degrees. It's 8 degrees at 7:30 this morning. Ian Rapoport coming up in about 12 minutes. Tommy Gazzola has entered the Nasty Chat this morning. By the way, how awesome was post-game last night? Can you imagine launching a sports station in this town and not having pre- and post-game coverage? I can't imagine it. It's going to be huge for us. The post-game last night was absolutely sensational, and you can find it right on the chat, the post-game podcast, if you're looking for it at your convenience. It's under the Oil Stream podcast feed as well, but you should have joined Tommy and Gager last night. Tommy in there today. Does he have a wrench? Is that a wrench? What's he using a wrench give for?
When you're an admin of
really?
YouTube, you get that.
Oh, cool.
So you sign from the EST account.
Yeah, I'm always just in the EST account.
But if you signed in with Dustin, Nielson, and your other account,
too.
it would have a wrench. I've got a wrench. I got to get Eric. We got to get him.
We got to get you a wrench.
I'm in the chat. I gotta.
I have to give you permission.
Can you give me a hammer?
Here, let me send it to you right now.
Tool.
Eric, do you have a hammer or a wrench?
A screwdriver.
Good morning, Nasty Chat. Today's outfit will be very urban farmer. Looking forward to the EST hangout. I'll 100% be late getting to the studios today. Laughy face, kidding. I love Tommy bringing that Friday attitude to a Thursday Nasty Chat.
I'll take a coffee, Tom.
Urban farmer would be the plaid. I'm assuming that's a plaid
Well, I
look.
hope a big sun hat as well.
Oh, that would be nice. What do you?
Do you want your regular email or your work email? I'm giving you YouTube permissions.
Work, please.
Okay.
Hey, go get show meat.
Yeah.
We totally forgot. We got show meat because I got beefs coming up. What do you got beef with? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. What do you have beef with? After last night's game, I think you all probably got a lot of beef with a lot of things coming out of that hockey game. Nasty Chat, what do you got beef with as well? I kind of got a little bit of beef that Eric didn't have a wrench already. I didn't know that, but now he does. Oh, what do we got? Are we in the jerky still? Or I got beef brought to you by Acme Meats. Eat fresh, eat local, eat Acme.
Yeah, this stuff didn't last long.
No, this is delicious.
We've gone through this. Give me a little rip off that. Rip off that belt.
Like a couple of hounds, eh? A couple of lions eating zebras.
You were saying you had
Okay, I got beef.
Yeah, beef with something.
780-218-9999. Brought to you by Acme Meats. Corey and the crew out there. Delicious meat. What else can we say? Eat fresh. Eat Acme. Eat local. Eat all the time. It is good.
Eat the beef.
That's holding up well. That show meat's a week in.
Very good.
That's delicious. Okay, here's what I got beef with. I think it is such a bad look for the Edmonton Oilers 25 minutes into the season to put McDavid and Draisaitl back together at even strength. Not even 2 periods into the season. And I understand you're down in the hockey game, but to me, it's just this free pass to everybody else that says, hey, sit back and chill. Connor and Leon are going to work their magic, and they're going to come back and win this hockey game. That should be saved for emergencies only. If you're going to try to start the season with McDavid and Draisaitl on separate lines, then leave them on separate lines. If you want them to play together, just play them together. Especially last night, it's not like the team defense sucked because those two guys weren't together. This just in. They're not great together defensively when they're on the ice anyway. So to me, it's just the biggest bailout to put McDavid and Draisaitl back together 25 minutes into this season. Right? You keep trying to say, oh, you got to have that depth. If you're going to be a championship team, you got to do this, you got to do that. And then 25 minutes into the year, you're down. You're like, well, put 97 and 29 back together. What's the point of having any other line combinations if at any time there's important moments, you're going to put them back together? That's what I got beef with. 25 minutes in. Just play them together or don't. But 25 minutes into a season, and you're already reuniting McDavid and Draisaitl because things aren't going very well. I'm sorry. I mean, I like to think this is going to be a different year than the previous years. I'm already worried about my Stanley Cup prediction that happened 3 weeks ago because 25 minutes in, they're just going back to McDavid and Draisaitl. Anytime anything goes wrong, it's just, well, put those guys together. What message does it send to everybody else? Like, if you want to build Brown and Kane and McDavid as a line, play Brown, McDavid, and Kane as a line. I got so much beef with it. Like, I get in the playoffs, you're down in a game, you got to have it, sure. But night one, too early. Way too early. I'm sorry. I mean, I got a lot of time for, like, differing opinions, and I'm here for a conversation. I cannot be convinced on any level. Even if they came back and won that game last night, I'd still be like, 25 minutes in, back to McDavid and Draisaitl, same old thing. So that's what I got beef with. It's taken me a while. Like, I've wanted to get that off my chest all morning, boys. But I had to get some of this delicious jerky from Acme Meats. feel better now. I feel better. If I smoked cigarettes and had cigarettes, I would light one up right now. And since I don't think we have any fire alarms in this building, we could probably do it, right? We could smoke cigarettes in this
no
studio.
Extinguisher either.
Yeah.
That should be the thing, what's smoking me? And you could just smoke feverishly while you...
I don't know. I hate to like freak out about one game. But the last thing you want to do in game one is put those two guys back together. The team needs to learn how to handle critical moments and challenging situations with those two guys on separate lines. They just have to. Sorry, I guess I had more beef. What do you got? Do you got beef with any
sausage? I got beef that we're kind of running out of beef here.
Yeah, we are running out of beef. We're going to need another show meat delivery.
I got beef no one's sharing.
Oh, here, buddy.
No.
Here, have some. Sorry, horrible throw. Horrible throw. That was a bad throw. We better put McDavid and Draisaitl back together. I don't know. What are you supposed to do? Play them together 27 minutes a night all season?
Sure. If that's how they feel is the best path to victory,
well, then play them together, right? If you're don't why do you bring up? If you think McDavid and Draisaitl have to be together for you to win hockey games, then just start them together. But 25 minutes into the season, to bail on, I'm spitting beef everywhere. 25 minutes into the season, to all of a sudden just be like, oh, sorry guys, the rest of you suck. We got to put McDavid and Draisaitl back together. You're never gonna be different. You're never gonna be different. And this team might be able to win a cup that way. But if they don't, it's because you always just keep having to resort to like the hero play. And I don't know, man. Frustrates me. What do you got beef with?
I said I have beef that there's not enough beef. You had the beef. This is not, I'm not going to come in here and say, oh, I don't like people, sitting at a booth for four at a restaurant when there's only one. This is, you take the beef today. You actually deserve this full sausage.
No, I can't have sausage.
You should have this. Get this puppy down your...
Hey, what show is this from? I'm going to do this. Let's do this. What show is this from, boys?
Freddie got fingered.
No.
That's what I was thinking,
Daddy,
too.
would you like some sausage?
That was where I was going.
Where's this beef falling out of here? No, come on. People know.
Freddie got fingered.
No, come on, guys. You watch the shows.
Lost?
No, not Lost.
The Office?
Are you trolling me right now? I got beef that you guys can't come up with this.
Oh, I get it. Reek.
What's Reek?
Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah, I've never watched Reek. I've never watched Games of Thrones.
You didn't watch Game of Thrones?
No.
I love the Tales of the North. He has no idea what we're doing.
Yeah.
He's really out of the loop.
I just picture Lord of the Rings, maybe. It's got to be something in the same realm.
I love it. You can be the Hobbit.
Yeah.
Cross promotion, right? That type of thing.
I can't believe it took you that long to get that reference.
Again, the sausage.
Right,
Freddie
the
got
sausage?
fingers. Like that's
Yes.
easily where even my second guess was Freddie. I was like, maybe he didn't hear me. And
Freddie Got Fingers is an amazing movie. Yeah.
I wonder if it's on a streaming service.
Sorry. What'd you say, Matty?
I wonder if it's on a streaming service. That's
you
worth
find
another
that in
watch.
Boston Public. You got my Christmas shopping wrapped up.
Boston Public's not like it doesn't stream anywhere.
We said that about Malcolm in the Middle. Remember it?
It came back.
Yep.
We gotta get Rapoport on, don't we?
I will call him right away.
All right. Okay, well, let's get to anyway. That's what I got beef with. I didn't even get time to get to anybody else's.
I couldn't know, and that's
so
the thing.
up.
Sometimes the precedence takes it.
You could stream Freddie Got Fingered on Disney Plus Prime Video. Just a heads up if you're looking for weekend plans.
Where? Say that again.
Disney Plus or Prime.
Disney Plus has Freddie Got Fingered?
You can stream it,
that
apparently.
Seems completely off-brand. That's weird. Dusty Demko didn't actually puke in his mask from the flu last night. It was in disgust from the Oilers' efforts. Yeah. That's in from Hat Trick Swayze. That's pretty good, actually.
Somebody wants to rename this segment Spitting Beef.
Spitting Beef.
Destiny.
Oh, I mean... sorry, I was...
That was... Yeah, no, that...
I don't know. It just, to me, it reeks of Game 1 panic.
It reeks.
Game 1 panic. You can't have Game 1 panic. Come on.
You're saying that was not a must-win game. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Let the team that you've constructed play through it.
Take the lumps.
And it's not like McDavid and Draisaitl were lighting it up, so you had to put them together. If you're trying to send a message that everybody else isn't playing good, guess what? Those guys weren't playing very well either. Sorry. I just.
No, you don't
I'm glad I
apologize.
got that
No,
off
no,
the
you
chest.
don't apologize.
That's why
You
we
have
have I
beef.
Got Beef.
Yeah.
That's why we
No
have the
apologies
segment I
here.
Got Beef. We'll get to your Century Casino NFL Challenge coming up after our next guest. We've got LeLacheur, interim president of the Edmonton Elks, to talk about the decision at Commonwealth yesterday. He's going to join us just after 8 o'clock today. That'll be your local spin for United Sport and Cycle. Kind of easy trivia. 3 questions too many, all still to come. Right now, we've got NFL Insider. You find him on Twitter at Rapsheet. Ian Rapoport, brought to you by the Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino, our NFL partners for this season. And we got lots to discuss around the National Football League. Rapsheet, good morning. How you doing, bud?
What's going on? How you guys doing?
Look, man, we're doing all right. I mean, some of us listening and watching right now might be struggling with the Justin Jefferson news from a fantasy perspective. But overall, I mean, the Vikings have been a little bit of a mess anyway. Where does that season go from here now with Jefferson banged up, do you think?
Well, I think for Jefferson, you're probably looking at 4 weeks. I mean, I know it's 4 weeks on IR, but my understanding is he should be able to come back right at that 4-week mark, which is, I think, a good thing. They are 1-4. They've had some tough losses, some close losses, and obviously last year, they basically were victorious in almost all one-score games. Now it's kind of been the opposite. It seems like it's evening out a little bit. They still got talent. They still can win. There's still time to turn this around. I just don't know how much time they have left, and if it's a very, very thin margin for error when you start off like they have.
Well, okay, I'm glad you brought that up because I was listening to a couple of podcasts, I think, yesterday, and they were talking about, would any teams be interested? Like, if let's say the Vikings start 1-6 somehow, would there be teams interested in trading for Kirk Cousins and then the Vikings tank to get their hands on one of these elite quarterbacks in this year's draft and kind of start over? To me, it seems a little far-fetched to have that discussion right now, but is that a discussion that pops up possibly in 3 or 4 weeks?
Well, I mean, the discussions are already happening. If you turn on, talk radio or all those debate shows on TV, I just don't know how realistic it actually is. Kirk Cousins has a no-trade clause. He is a free agent after the year. He wants to have a good season. He likes Minnesota and is living in Minnesota. Where would he go where he could step in to a good team, have a chance to win, and know the system, and play well? It would take, something crazy happening, a season-ending injury to a team that he knows. I mean, it would be extremely unlikely. And I think part of the reason is because he has that no-trade clause. And if you're the Vikings, if you want to, trading him is essentially giving up on the season, which is okay, I guess, but then you also have to get through it and, basically tell all your players, hey, we're just going to give up. That's hard as well.
Ian, just getting back to the injury front, and the Colts will be without quarterback Anthony Richardson for 4 weeks. You've reported possibly more shoulder injury for him. It's now the latest edition of Minshew Mania moving forward, Gardner Minshew's team. You were on the Insiders. They had a little nugget of information about Minshew and his record and what he's done so far in his brief time in the NFL. We all like to have a laugh and kind of use him as that mascot, toss-away guy that, you have no other allegiances, so you just pull for a Minshew. I guess if you could go any deeper on the Richardson injury, and what do you expect from the latest installment of Minshew Mania with the Colts sitting at 3-2?
Yeah, revenge game for Gardner Minshew against his old Jaguars team. So as far as Anthony Richardson, it is a grade 3 AC joint sprain. That is pretty significant. Generally, if it's like a grade 1, it means you can come back in 1 to 2 weeks. A grade 3 involves some tearing, involves some damage, involves some ligaments. It's a lot. It is a lot. And, I think making sure that your rookie quarterback is 100% healthy before he gets out there again is, that's paramount, and, that's important. So I think they're not going to put him out there until all is well and he makes sure he's healed. So my guess is it's not 4 weeks. My guess is it's longer. How much longer? I don't know. And then what if, I could look at it both ways. What if they're winning?
Yeah.
What if Gardner Minshew has them above 500 with a chance of the playoffs? What if they're really struggling? Do you bring them out there? There's definitely some questions.
Ian Rapoport with us on the Nielson Show today. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999, or get in on the Nasty Chat over on YouTube. Where are we at on injury updates for Thursday Night Football? I know there's a couple of key offensive contributors that have been a little hit and miss in practice this week.
Yeah. So first of all, Javonte Williams, the Broncos running back, he is off the injury report. That is good news. He's dealing with kind of like a thigh quad injury. He's going to play today. I think that's good. And then for the Kansas City Chiefs, I don't know what's bigger news, that Travis Kelce is expected to play barring some setback with his ankle, or that Taylor Swift is going to be in attendance, according to TMZ. So that's big news. I think Taylor Swift being there probably clinches the fact that, Travis Kelce is going to play, if we were ever wondering. So good job, Taylor. Thank you for that.
What is Denver like? Nobody's expecting Denver to pull off this miraculous upset. They're going to likely fall to 1-5 on the season. They just made the coaching change. They've committed to Russell Wilson. Does Denver just have to ride this thing out all year? There's really not much else you can do, is there?
Well, you can build for the future, which I think is what you would, likely do. You would start making trades. I think that's what you would do. You'd start making trades. And they have some pieces. They have Frank Clark, pass rusher who somebody might trade for. We'll see. They have some offensive weapons in Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton. They have some guys on defense who they've paid. There's different ways to go, but I think that's the only thing you do. I mean, that's a tough situation there. It's been a long time since they've been good. They're obviously not going to be good this year. And it's a challenge, but the only thing you can do is start stockpiling resources for the future and try to make the best of it and just kind of weather it. They can move on from Russell Wilson at the end of the season. It would be extremely expensive and punitive, but you could do it. I think that would be, sort of part of the discussion.
Last one for you, and I want your thoughts on how it ends in New England with Belichick. They're 1-4 right now. Maybe he finds a way to turn it around. We know, he's arguably one of the best to ever do it. He's had a phenomenal run. Is this something where he eventually says, okay, enough's enough, or do the Patriots actually at some point say, you know what, it's time for a change? To me, whatever happens, whenever it happens, it's like one of those mutual announcements, isn't it?
Probably, although, he is the greatest coach of all time. Surely that has earned him some leeway. Right? I mean, you want to rush to fire Bill Belichick, okay, go ahead, but he is the greatest coach of all time, so, I don't know, that should earn you something. I don't know what they can do except for trust in, the best that the sport has ever seen, that he's going to fix it. If he doesn't, then I think that'll be, an interesting discussion. But I don't think anyone can predict how it's going to end and which way it's going to go. I mean, my guess is it would be mutual, except if it's not mutual, except if they come to him and they want to make a change and he doesn't. A lot of times these things end badly. I hope it doesn't for them, because that would be a shame, but certainly it is possible.
As always, Ian, we appreciate the time, man. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Take care.
There you go. That's Ian Rapoport, NFL Insider. You find him on Twitter at RapSheet. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. I brought up the Belichick thing. He's 71. Basically, without Tom Brady, he's not the greatest the greatest coach of all time. Surprise, surprise. Since Brady left, they've been very mediocre to average. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Patriots fans, but I mean, at some point,
you bring back Brady.
Probably this season, at the end of the year, if they win 4 or 5 games, it's Belichick retires as the greatest coach of all time, even if he needed Tom Brady to do it. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I know how long you continue to last it to kind of tarnish the legacy, right? I mean, I know that what he did there and what him and Brady did there, but you can't keep going on. You get shut out. It's a sign of the times here. Yeah, you're not bringing Brady back. I know there's all the Twitter, it's not happening. So
they're a very bad football team.
Yeah.
And he's had a big part in building that football team. So
you can't keep going on like this. Somebody's got to turn the lights off. And
in the Brady Belichick, who was more important to the championship teams debate, it's over. It's done. I mean, it was Tom Brady. He went and won somewhere else, and Belichick's, I think, made it to a wild card game. And that's it.
You're not here for one more chapter, though, eh?
I'm not here. He's 71. I'm not here for one more chapter of Bill Belichick grinding out a wild card loss somewhere along the way.
Especially in that division currently as it stands.
It's over.
You're not doing anything.
It's time to move on and start fresh for the New England Patriots. Denver's interesting, and we're going to get into that. Denver and the Chiefs tonight. Thursday Night Football Challenge. This is an easy one. Easy contest. I don't know about an easy pick yet. Easy contest to play along with. If you like the Denver Broncos plus 10.5 points on the road tonight at Arrowhead, text Denver to the inbox at 780-218-9999. If you like the Chiefs to roll at home by 11 or more tonight, text Chiefs to the inbox at 780-218-9999. If you get it correct, you go into a draw for a gift certificate to the Century Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino on Fort Road. You can use that gift certificate. Go see Lieutenant Eric. He's there on Monday and Thursday nights. The spread right now is the Denver Broncos plus 10.5 on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs. Lieutenant Eric, where are you going for this one tonight?
The Chiefs will win.
Chiefs are going to win this
Chiefs are going to win the game. Yeah. But, man, especially for this challenge, like if you're the one picking the Broncos to cover that, you go into the draw. Like not a lot of people pick it.
There won't be many Broncos picks tonight.
Riding with the road dog.
Oh, boy.
Oh, you didn't know? You better call somebody. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, tonight, D-Generation X proudly brings to you its 6-time WWE Tag Team Champions of the World, the Road Dogg, Jesse James, the Badass Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaws.
I love when he does that.
And a bold strategy indeed.
Are you feeling it?
I love playing the Road Dogg clip.
The Chiefs will win.
I
Prime time, like it just feels so weird.
The Chiefs' lack of legitimate offensive options outside of a banged-up Kelsey and Pacheco, who's having a nice season. And I'll get into this more on the Fantasy Football 5 around 11:50 today. Like, there's 3 people to start on the Kansas City Chiefs in fantasy, which is wild to say. So maybe the Broncos can somehow lose a 20-12 game or something like that.
I'm not going to use the Broncos to justify my pick. There's nothing I can talk about with the Denver Broncos that would justify picking them in any form or fashion.
Yeah.
I just look at the Chiefs. I look at it prime time, and who knows? Maybe I'm overthinking it. But a few people chiming in at 780-218-9999.
Are people actually taking the Broncos
Absolutely.
here?
Why not?
You sick puppies.
You know, like.
Let's see here.
Let's go.
Denver, Broncos, Chiefs, Broncos, Chiefs.
Chiefs win.
Still see somebody in there. I love the guy who texts in as Russian spa guy. I don't like the Chiefs. I'm not a fan, but I'm so happy the Broncos are so bad that I have to say that the Chiefs will win even with the points. So they're going to get in. 780-218-9999. You like the Broncos? Plus 10.5. Or on the Chiefs? Minus 10.5. Hit us up at 780-218-9999. Get in the mix for that gift card to Century Casino. And go join Lieutenant Eric for Thursday Night Football.
Smoked brisket cheesesteak special tonight. It's a great deal. Hell of a deal. Great sandwich. You had the sandwich. You all had the sandwich last Thursday.
Can you believe that we're already a week past that party on Thursday night? Time flies when you're having fun, eh?
Some of me is still there, I like to think.
Well, you'll be back there tonight.
I'll be back there tonight.
Every Monday and Thursday, join LTE at the Sports Bar and Lounge, Century Casino on Fort Road. Third hour of the show is coming up. Rick LeLacheur is going to join us. We'll get his kind of get the background on the decision to tarp off the top part of Commonwealth. That'll be the local spin for United Sport and Cycle. We've got 3 questions too many. Kind of easy trivia still to come as well. We got to come back around to this Nurse Bouchard thing. How long does that last? I mean, hit us up in the nasty chat. I already see people are over there. Ham Sandwich is in and says the Nurse Bouch combo. McDry after 20 minutes, and the line blender is all on one guy, the same guy who didn't adjust in the playoffs last year. With that said, one game does not make a season. Wow. So one game does not make a season, but turning the heat up on old Woody a little bit. Interesting morning in the nasty chat.
Well, the word cocky was bandished about a few times.
For the team or the coach?
For the coach, for old JW there. So
Holy smokes.
Game 1.
Holy smokes. A lot of Oilers Canucks talk coming up in hour number 3, but let's get to a sports update right now from Lieutenant Eric, brought to you by United Sport and Cycle. Rick LeLacheur coming up. We'll have a gift certificate to United you can get your hands on here with a little local spin trivia as well. That is all on the way here on The Nielson Show. Hey, tell your friends that the Nielson Show is back and better than ever.
Oilers falling 8-1 out in Vancouver last night in the season opener. Leon Draisaitl with the lone Edmonton goal. The second half of the home and away will go Saturday night from Rogers Place. Elsewhere last night, Avs defeating the Kings 5-2. Flames top the Jets 5-3. Sens drop one on the road 5-3 in Carolina. Connor Bedard, his first NHL goal. Bruins get past Chicago 3-1, and Austin Matthews with the hat trick. Leafs top the Habs 6-5 in overtime. The Edmonton Oil Kings shutout from Rogers Place last night, 7-0 by the Saskatoon Blades. The 6-game homestand will continue Sunday against Red Deer. Over to Major League Baseball playoffs, the Astros advanced into the ALCS yesterday with a 3-2 win over Minnesota. Astros will meet the Rangers in that ALCS series. Diamondbacks completing the 3-game sweep of the Dodgers 4-2. Arizona await the winner of the Phillies-Braves series. Philadelphia lead that series 2-1. Game 4 will go later this evening from Philadelphia. In Week 6 in the NFL, tonight from Arrowhead, Chiefs and Broncos. You can join me for the game at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. There'll be another chance for you to qualify into a draw for a trip for two to LA to catch the Rams and Browns. Also, a free square board in play tonight. The Century Casino Sports Bar Lounge at Century Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day. This sports update for United Sport and Cycle, your home of hockey for over 95 years.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
8:01 on the Nielson Show. Thank you very much for joining us. If you are listening right now very easily on your mobile device and you're out on the highways, the roadways, you have any sort of traffic updates, hit us up. Fire us a text, 780-218-9999, and we can pass along to everybody else to avoid the southwest leg of the Henday. That's pretty much usually where the damage is.
Spoiler alert, eh?
All right, I love Jeremy. He's in the nasty chat today and says, I refuse to get mad after one game. Which is, I mean, fair enough.
8-1.
Fair enough. 8-1. It's a little bit of a burn there. But we will have 3 questions too many, kind of easy trivia coming up, and more on McDavid and Draisaitl being put together 25 minutes into the season. Nurse and Bouchard, is that actually going to be a thing moving forward? How can it be? We'll get into that. And I mean, if you want to have a goaltending discussion, we can. I just feel like they were left hung out to dry last night. Like I don't blame Jack Campbell for them being down where they were. Play better in front of the guy. So we'll get into that. But 3 questions too many, kind of easy trivia. Lots of Oilers Canucks talk coming up here in hour number 3. Thank you very much for listening or watching over on YouTube as well. You can find everything that we're doing at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The local spin for United Sport and Cycle. 4th generation, family-owned and operated business for over 95 years. I don't think they're going anywhere. I know what's happening at Commonwealth. People who were up top are going down to the lower bowl next year. We're going to get into that discussion. Rick LeLacheur joins us, the interim president, back with the Edmonton Elks. It just kind of sounds right. Rick, good morning. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We are doing just fine. Before we get into the decision to close the upper bowl, how has it been for you coming back to the organization? And how busy have you been since throwing on that interim tag here for a little bit?
Well, it's been interesting. I wasn't expecting it. I was well on my way to my wife says my 3rd retirement, but we're not sure. So it's been good. It's been very busy. I think we've got some things settled down. The team's playing better, and I know we're not in the playoffs, but the last 2 games there's going to be guys playing for contracts and maybe some new guys playing that they'll get a look at. And on the football field, really, the 2024 season starts now. So it's been busy on the business side. We're into planning for 2024. Doing our budgets, doing our business plans, and trying to keep everybody around here busy.
You mentioned coming out of retirement for a 3rd time. I love the fact that you just can't leave the Canadian Football League. I just think it's absolutely sensational. Now, I guess I've been curious on this front. Obviously, you're coming in and trying to help turn the organization around a little bit. You got that interim tag on right now. How much of your time spent over the next few months will be finding the next president, or is this a classic situation where 2 years from now we're like, man, Rick's been the interim president for quite some time and things are working in the right direction? Like, what's the plan for the position you are currently in?
I don't know. Is the honest answer. My deal's till the end of the year right now. I'm going to be discussing it with the board in a couple of weeks. We have a board meeting and talk about the plans for next year, and we'll take it from there. So I really don't know at this point, but 2 years, Dustin, is really stretching it.
Well, we'll set the over-under at 18 months.
Throwing a retirement
in
there.
Yeah, if you want to retire for a couple of months midway through and then just come back again, I mean, we could probably make that work for you as well. Look, let's just be transparent here. Like, how much work do you have to do? Like, when you came in and decided to do this, has it been overwhelming for you? Is it kind of what you expected?
Well, it's a little more than what I expected. There's some challenges here. There's no doubt. I'm fortunate that I knew the city, I knew the team, I knew the CFL, so it wasn't from a learning point going on that forward. So we've got some really good, particularly young people here on the business side, and got them going on different things, but really focusing on ticket sales, sponsorship sales, and getting people into the building to watch the games. That's what this business is all about.
How much does it help, or how much do you guys plan to utilize the abilities of Trey Ford to launch a resurgence in the fan base?
A lot. I think, and let's face it, in football, you need a quarterback just like you need a goaltender in hockey. So Trey's a great young kid. He's playing hard to see some of those plays. We lost in Toronto on last Friday, to see that one touchdown throw. The way he ran around the field is, that one play is worth the price of admission right there to see that. So he's come a long ways. He's still got a long ways to go. And I think even the off season will give him the opportunity to watch more film and just be that much better in 2024. But at the same time, on the business side, we hopefully can use Trey out in the marketplace and getting around and getting his name known better and represent the Elks in a very first class way around the community.
Rick, just to address kind of the elephant in the room, obviously yesterday, the announcement of closing the Upper Bowl for next season, in the press release that the Elks put out that you were a part of here, still capacity 31,000, one of the largest capacities still in the CFL, and comments online, both off that article, Twitter and elsewhere, and season ticket holders, what does it mean? If you could have a chance right now just to address a season ticket holder or season ticket holders, what would you kind of say to them? Obviously, they'll probably be contacted in what they do with their tickets and seats. But just if you had a message to a fan that's been sitting up there for however many years, season seats, great view, they've made friendships and camaraderies up there, your chance to kind of speak to them, what would you say to them and kind of fill them with the hope moving forward in this plan of closing the Upper Bowl?
Well, first of all, I understand a lot of them and how long they've been there. This is all the total thing is just, as you said, moving to 31,000 seats in the lower deck. It's all about atmosphere at a football game. That's what it is. And I know, Dustin, you've been probably in every stadium, and the lower bowl at Commonwealth Stadium is in a higher number of seats in CFL. So it's all about the atmosphere, and when we're presenting a game, it's not just the play of the football on the field. It is the atmosphere, the game day presentation, and when you've got people spread out so far and on really 4 different decks and 5 with the end zone, it's very difficult with the numbers we have to create that atmosphere. So what we're going to do with the people on the top deck, where our customer service and our salespeople are going to try to communicate with all of them. We understand some of them of where their seats are, the community they sit around, and we're going to do our darndest to make sure that if you're on the 40-yard line on the top deck. We'll get you as close as we can to the 40-yard line on the bottom deck. And if you want to move with your community of friends, relatives, or new friends that you've made, football friends, we'll try to keep you all together. So we're going to work very hard, and starting now and through the off season, to relocate those people to something that they're very happy with.
How long did it take? Because coming back from the BC Lions, they've tarped off the top part of BC Place. Now, when the crowd is going to be great, they'll open it up, and there's kind of a little bit of a buzz. Like, oh boy, the upper bowl's open. Like that means it's going to be a good crowd and a good atmosphere in there. How long did it take before you started to see that atmosphere improvement when this plan was executed out in Vancouver?
Well, it was done before I went there. It was done in 2015, and we actually opened it in 2000, I guess last year, 22 was the first year with, it might have been 21. Oh, that was a half season. 22 with Amar as the new owner of the team that added a lot to it. And we opened it for the first time on the home opener in 2022. And I think we opened it twice or three times. And that's the other thing we've told people that are up on the upper deck. We will allow them first choice to go back up if we ever open it and get back to their seats. So it does create a buzz, and out in BC with BC Place, Commonwealth and BC Place are clearly the two largest stadiums in the CFL, and with the number of seats, it is a challenge. So I think you've seen it out in BC. The created the game day buzz with the lower bowl, and then on the big games like last week they played Winnipeg, they opened the top deck, and we hope to by next year to be able to open the top deck as well for some of the key games, maybe the Labor Day Classic and rematch. So lower bowl will be all just we're trying to create it for families, individuals, but they have fun. They're entertained, and we're very affordable. So that's the whole thing we're trying to accomplish. And if we can get to close to a full lower bowl, then we'll gladly open the top deck.
Rick, good catching up, man. Thanks a lot for the time this morning. We appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, guys.
There you go. That is Rick LeLacheur, interim president of the Edmonton Elks. And you know what, boys? It doesn't sound like he's going anywhere, hey? Sounds like he's settling in here to try to sort of get things back on track.
Kind of start something and then kind of midway through. So
that's the local spin for United Sport and Cycle, fourth generation family owned and operated business for over 95 years. We do have a little trivia contest for you. This would be an easy one. I'm talking about Commonwealth there with Rick. In what year did Commonwealth Stadium open? All you have to do is text us 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. In what year did Commonwealth Stadium open? Send the correct answer to the Paris Jewelers inbox at 780-218-9999, and you will go in the mix for a $50 gift card you can use at United Sport and Cycle. It's part of the local spin.
That's great.
It's an easy one. I mean, you can look it up if you want.
Yeah, but if you know it off the top of your head, that's even better. I mean, we'll give you
one hint. It's older than
points.
Everybody that works at Edmonton Sports Talk.
Get closer.
Find the number, text it in, 780-218-9999. You know what else we need? We need somebody to play Kind of Easy Trivia this morning. If you'd like to play Kind of Easy Trivia right now and get your hands on a gift card to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, let's go. 780-218-9999. And we'll give you a chance to get 3 out of 5 correct on Kind of Easy Trivia today. And you win yourself a gift card to Mr. Mike's. 3 questions too many coming up as well. And more post-mortem on the Oilers' opening night, 8-1 bare butt spanking at the hands of the Vancouver Canucks.
I love how we're saying the P word already, the post-mortem. Like it's
after a game like that,
I know, it's just so good.
Somebody said we should rename the post-game show, which did extremely well last night. Thank you to the thousands of people who checked out the post-game show last night. Crystal clear and static-free right here at Edmonton Sports Talk. People said you should rename it to The Autopsy with Tommy Gazzola.
Ooh.
Hey, after a loss.
And it's just a white chalk
The
outline
Autopsy.
of the logo.
Yeah. If you'd like to play Kind of Easy Trivia this morning, just text in and say, hey, Maddie, pick me. And I know we got lots of texts coming in for the local spin trivia question as well. But Maddie will find somebody in there, and you can play Kind of Easy Trivia this morning. Nasty Chat cruising along. Jack is in and says, Rick LeLacheur could break the news of a Mars landing and put the audience to sleep with that calm tone. Really, like when LeLacheur takes over and you'd be like, so, Rick, didn't win a game this year. And he can calm you down.
Yeah. Like if an asteroid was heading towards the Earth and he was the one to report it, I wouldn't feel so bad. I'd be like, okay, well, Rick's on it.
Thanks,
got this.
Rick.
Yeah, thanks for the info.
Thanks for letting us. Did you watch that movie, Don't Look Up?
Yes, with Leo DiCaprio. Yeah.
It was good.
It was very.
It was a real wake up call on society right now.
Oh yeah. I'm not watching that again.
I missed parts of it because I was on my phone, but still, it was pretty good. You see that? That was pretty good, right? 780-218-9999. Matt, he's just lining somebody up right now. We will play a little kind of easy trivia this morning, and then obviously more on the Oilers game. Like, how
Are
much?
you looking for the exact date on Commonwealth? Like
No,
the,
not
the
just
date,
the year.
Just the year.
What did I say? I think I said the year.
I said some people have the date.
We don't need the dates.
I'm loving it.
Just give us the year that it opened, and we'll go there. Guys, is it too early for the Nasties to throw the hat of one Hernan Salas into the ring when Rick retires?
Oh boy, you're really going from Rick's energy to. I mean, Hernan would be ruling that thing with an iron fist.
I would very happily put the Edmonton. We'd have to talk about it in next week's staff meeting. But should we endorse Hernan Salas to be the next president of the Edmonton Elks?
Do we get behind him? Give him the EST.
Look, we
get on the campaign trail.
Now, it would be weird for him to jump over his current boss, Evan Dom. But as we said multiple times, Dahmer hasn't even been here. We're not even sure he likes us. Hernan Salas, as soon as the offseason hits, probably wants to move in here and pay rent.
Yeah, Dom's like it's a tired look for him.
Maddie, would you be willing to put our support for the next president of the Edmonton Elks behind Hernan Salas?
That's only dependent on one thing.
If he can come play Tecmo with us still?
No, that'd be then two things.
Okay, what's the other thing?
Does JMO want it?
Well, I mean, if JMO wants it, he can have it.
That's the thing. So I'm not throwing, I just need to know, is JMO out? If JMO's out of this picture, then I've got the full weight of my support behind Hernan Salas to bring that Latino heat to the Elks franchise in that higher position than he is.
I want Dave Jamieson just to go into an office at Commonwealth and sit down and put his own nameplate on the door that says Dave Jamieson.
No one's kicking him out.
Yeah.
No one's kicking him out.
Who's going to come in and say, hey, Dave, you can't just come in and anoint yourself president. People will be walking by the office and being like, thank God.
Yep.
You know, like, just do it, JMO. Just do it.
Consultant.
How do you consult? It's president, damn it.
It's like when George got the job, except in return, people want Dave to have this job.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that's a good way to go about it. All right, who's playing kind of easy trivia today?
Warren
is going to play today for Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. Casualest place ever in the Hampton Inn on the corner of 137th Ave, Mark Messier Trail. The sirloin bites. Absolutely to die for. The dipping sauce, delicious. Brand new location. Now in Fort Sask as well. So you can get the classic Mike burger. Pickle in or pickle out. Doesn't matter. You can get it at Mr. Mike's. All right, let's go to Warren this morning. Warren, good morning, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Dusty.
Oh, wow. You sound like a really happy guy.
Fired up.
We're ready.
Okay, so you're not devastated after the loss last night. I like this.
It's one game. You can't win the Stanley Cup on the first game, and you can't lose it on the first game.
Boom. Warren said it. Congrats, you win. All right, here we go. I'll start the ticker out to read the first question. How many goals did the Canucks score last night?
8.
Who scored the Oilers goal last night?
Draisaitl.
Which Canadian team won a game in a shootout last night?
Toronto.
What sport does Bryce Harper play?
Baseball.
Which city is home to the MLB's Phillies?
Philadelphia.
I like Warren. Let's get Warren back. He got it.
At least after 8-1
My name is Julius, and I'm your twin brother. I've been looking forward to this moment my whole life. Excuse me, but I was just taking a shower. Tell me a little bit about Vincent. Was he a great athlete? Was he interested in chess and poetry? My name is Julius. My name is Julius. My name is Julius.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
All right, there you go. Congratulations to Warren. That was a real sort of pick me up on a day
big
like
W.
this.
Big W for Warren. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. It's a W right there.
For it, right?
I could never be a gang member because I'm horrible at hand signs. And I just don't think I could. I don't think I could pull it off. 780-218-9999, and in the nasty chat this morning, we'll get to a few more of your text messages.
Someone wants the J-Mo and Hernan stack, mentor and Padawan, like Kenny Holland and Steve Stais. Oh, too soon.
Oh, I thought
Sean
you were say like
texted.
Obi-Wan and Anakin. Okay. And then in the end, Hernan turns into Vader and
yeah,
goes and runs the Calgary Stampeders.
Could see. Oh, jeez.
How's that for a twist? Didn't see that one coming, did you? All right, let's get into 3 questions too many. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segment today?
3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, as well as dealer principal Mitch Lewicki. Don't sleep on him for next prez of the Edmonton Elks. Park Mazda, your dealer for life. Bit of a dark horse, perhaps, eh?
Not at all. He's got to stay where he is because they have so much success.
Does both.
So much success at
Work
Park
from
Mazda.
home, it's 2023, right?
Yeah, he's got to keep cruising along there. Do you have a Twitter account?
I do. It's at Lieutenant_Eric. You can follow on Twitter.
What about our station account?
Well, the station account. Now that's where you want to be. It is at YEG Sports Talk, Edmonton Sports Talk. If you type in YEG in Twitter, that's the first thing that's going to come up.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Yeah. So
screw you, airport.
We are YEG. Yeah, the airport secondary, but
take that.
It's the local sports talk code. That's
I
what
think
we
if
call
you actually go on YouTube and type in Edmonton, I think it's us and the Oilers that are a couple. Maybe that's just because of my searches. But if you type in Edmonton, I think we pop up relatively quickly, which is kind of nice as well.
YG Sports Talk. Edmonton Sports Talk as well on Instagram. We are on TikTok as well. YouTube Trev is killing it on the...
Yeah, I saw a prediction video yesterday on TikTok. He didn't use our predictions.
He didn't?
Mind you, you know what YouTube, like the video I watched on TikTok, Eric and I's predictions weren't in there. It's fine. I don't care.
But said Eckham wouldn't play.
You know what YouTube Trev said in his prediction? Canucks win.
I know.
That slimy little bugger.
I looked at him. I was like, you're nuts. Yeah. And he's like, well, you know, it's...
He nailed it.
He goes, I think I'd try something different than
Turns
everybody
out
else.
YouTube Trev is a savant. He's an Oilers game savant. Yeah. Maddie, what are you looking at over there, Maddie?
Yeah, he cut you boys out.
I know, he cut us out.
You boys out.
How'd he cut us out of the video? I mean, whatever, it's fine.
Sure it is.
I was watching it, and I was just like,
sure it is.
Where's our predictions?
If it was so fine, you wouldn't have brought it up.
Well, where were our predictions?
I didn't even give
So you're not fine with it.
Well, no, I was just wondering, like, did the video not work, or did our predictions suck? Do I need to make better predictions in the future? I did say
Seems like you're worried about this.
Oilers win. Well, I want to know how I can be better to eventually make the prediction
to
video.
Consult YouTube Trev.
Right?
He's got some pointers for you.
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna have to have a meeting with Trev today. Trev, tell me what I can do better. Hey, how was it here last night watching the game? I really wanted to come by, but we had this flat tire issue, and I couldn't get here.
Well, Tommy ordered some Panago pizza. It's some in the fridge, by the way.
There's leftover pizza here?
Yeah.
You're just telling us now?
I'm tired, dude.
Yeah, well.
Maddie slept here last night. Not even kidding.
Me, Gager, Tommy, and YouTube Trev watched the game. However, I won't lie. I didn't spend the whole game with them.
You were doing work.
I was in my office doing some work, sending out some emails, getting some things done.
I got 18 emails from you last night.
Is that what it was?
I think it was 18 I counted. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for CCing me, though. But, yeah. It looked like it was a good time. Like,
I could tell the boys were having a good time. Trev was...
This is the best way to watch a game ever.
Oh, he was disappointed in the club last night.
Oh, is he pretty
You
rattled?
could see it in the face. Like, he was he was not expecting the Oilers to put that up. No one was, but...
He predicted
He called the Canucks win. But not
how could
he be disappointed?
Not by that much.
He went for a little walk at one point.
Oh, really?
He gets that to calm down.
Well, it's just he just needed to...
I love this.
Get that done, so...
Well, good for him.
But it was a fun time. I don't know. When there's... it's enjoyable watching a game out here.
I look forward to joining and sleeping here as well.
Before I get into 3 questions, Edmonton Sports Talk Parlay is up at Cool Bet.
What? We didn't even do a parlay.
Hello.
Patty, he has put Kansas City Chiefs first quarter -3.5.
I do like it.
And Mahomes over 21.5 rushing yards at plus 300.
That's it? Woo! Plus 300. I like this.
That's up at Cool Bet right now. Click on exclusives, and you'll see the EST parlay.
That's exciting if you get that first quarter cover, because then you're just all in on the Mahomes at that point at plus 300, which would be really nice. All right, well, thanks. We'll have more on the Lock Shop a little bit later on today. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. We are going to get into 3 questions too many here right away as well. But you see this hat over here, that Lieutenant Eric is wearing. Eric, show your hat to the people. It's brought to you by our merch partners, Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Promotional products that bring the buzz. How's that? Check them out. The Hive Product Marketing.com. We're working on a store with them as well. They're teaming up with us on that. And we got a big announcement coming on Monday that I think you're really going to be excited about, and we think is going to make things even better here at Edmonton Sports Talk.
Very exclusive announcement.
Yeah, very exclusive announcement coming your way on Monday.
You know those things where you're excited to see other people's reactions? That's what this is. I'm excited to see the excitement on everybody else's face. And
I'm excited to see you be excited about the other people being excited. Yeah. No, I think that's
a beautiful thing.
All right, here we go. Question number 1 today for 3 questions too many, brought to you by our great partners at Park Mazda. We were just talking about this. It's good to see it roll in. In a perfect world, what size of stadium would you guys like to see for the Elks?
Well,
I mean, 31-32 ain't bad.
That's good. That should be like just right. You're looking around the league right now. If you could, you're talking about like building more of an intimate 31.
Yeah.
I guess you could argue, right? So yeah, like what it is, but just built smaller without, like you could still have an upper deck with 31, but just in a smaller.
Yeah, like basically build IG Field, but better here.
Build
Mosaic. Yeah. Here. Now, they won't because you can pack 31,000 into the lower bowl.
But it's an international Commonwealth Games stadium that had a running track. I mean, this was built for a specific type of event that, and again, without the soccer and the World Cup happening, like it's.
Give me 32,000 seat stadiums across the league.
Well, then
I don't even care if it's the same thing and you just change the wrap on it. You go to William Huff, they'll make it look good.
Bring in your youth sport team for a big night. You can. I mean, it's not just for that team.
Concerts,
you can use it, high school football championships, the rest, and everything like that. I mean, you could run that. And again, it's not as cavernous as Commonwealth is and was built for. But
question number 2. I know we aren't. I find this hilarious with Oilers fans in general, sports fans, really. I know we aren't panicking. But if you were to panic about the Oilers right now, what panic move would you make? Well, Woodcroft made the panic move last night when he put McDavid and Draisaitl together 25 minutes into the bloody season.
That's panic with a lowercase p. You're looking at, like, what are we doing here? We're going to kind of blow
okay,
it up. Who's on the block today?
Anytime the team struggles, they put those two guys together. To me, makes that panic with a capital P, a big P, however the P would work.
You rush Ekholm back from injury.
Ooh, that'd be a bad idea.
I'm not advocating for it, but that'd be like a panic to address the deficiency which we saw last night. I don't know.
I'm skipping over the panic part of this question. I'm changing my answer. It's not a panic. This is a legit move that probably has to be made. Nurse and Bouchard can't play together. Nurse and Bouchard I'm trying to figure out why they want that to be a thing. And I just haven't figured it out yet. I guess maybe because you want them both to be on the ice all the time with McDavid. Is that like why is Bouchard and Nurse a thing? Unless, and I'll give him a free pass on this, unless when Ekholm is ready to go, Bouchard is back with Ekholm, and that's why we haven't seen it. That has to be the case.
It better be the case.
If Ekholm comes back and they're still rolling Nurse and Bouchard together, I'm going to feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
More optional skates?
No.
3 a day. Breakfast, lunch, pregame. Optional.
Question number 3. This is a good one. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. The Paris Jewelers inbox. Could win text of the day from A&W. If you guys were Sean Payton, head coach of the Broncos, would you rather take 5 good shots to the nuts or coach against the Chiefs tonight? I think I'd probably take 5 good shots to the nuts because once you take 1 good shot to the nuts, the next 4, you're already in that pain.
You've been numb
to
it.
What's the difference between 1 shot to the nuts and 5 shots to the nuts?
The Broncos should be numb to it by now, too. Like
their entire season.
This is now just an exercise. Yeah, they've already had how many shots to the nuts already? I'll go coaching. I think you could always use the experience going up against a guy like Andy Reid. You took the nuts. I'll take the coaching. They're both the same. What's the Broncos? They've been kicked in the nuts how many times now already? More than
They're
5
1
times.
and 4.
Eh?
They're
yeah,
1 and
1
4.
and 4. So
even in the win,
it's
it's kind of getting
kicked
kicked
in
in
the
the
fifth
nuts.
time getting kicked in the nuts tonight. They'll lose, but they'll get that 10.5.
This is I can't
how.
believe I'm really intrigued by Broncos plus 10.5. I think on the lock shop today, I'm going to be full blown just hammering it down on the Chiefs minus the 10.5. Yeah. But the Chiefs offense is a little bit questionable because they have nobody to throw the ball to outside of Travis Kelce.
Bronco Nick did chime into the Paris Jewelers inbox and laid out a bunch of reasons why saying anything with the Broncos is
good.
Is not smart.
Okay.
No.
He's
okay.
He's, I thought Bronco Nick, please don't be the guy who's coming in and trying to defend the Broncos.
No.
Right
He's all for. He's and they're not going to win. 10.5.
Nasty chat going here on Nurse and Bouchard. So that's the conversation that will continue. Let's get to a quick sports update from Lieutenant Eric, and we'll dive back into Game 1, an embarrassing loss to the Vancouver Canucks. Was it as bad as it looked? And why are Nurse and Bouchard a thing? We'll try to figure that out as the show continues. The wrap for William Huff coming up here. And then on the hangout today, this is another good one. Maddie, Tommy, Gager. Kind of surprised Gager didn't sleep here with you last night, Maddie. Are we sure Gager's not over in the kitchen, like under the table or something?
In the bathroom.
He's around the corner in the hallway, like that one area we never go.
Leather jacket is a blanket.
Yeah, you fold it up in his leather jacket. And Mark Majot, co-host of the MCTV podcast, which is doing a great job breaking down Loki season 2. Anyway, I can't wait.
He's seen Boston Public.
Yeah, you're right. He has. All right, let's get to a quick update, and then we'll dive right back into this conversation right now with Nurse and Bouchard. What a first
hockey's back
post-game morning of the season, so right? This is great.
Yes, the Oilers last night, 8-1 losers out in Vancouver to kick off the season. Leon Draisaitl with the lone goal for Edmonton. The second half of this home and away series will go Saturday night from Rogers Place. Other action last night saw the Leafs top the Habs 6-5 in overtime. Bruins over the Blackhawks 3-1. Connor Bedard, his first NHL goal. Senators dropping on the road 5-3 in Carolina. Flames topped the Jets 5-3 from Calgary. And a 4-point night from Mikko Rantanen. Avalanche over the Kings 5-2. Oil Kings, they got shut out from Rogers Place last night 7-0 by the Blades. Their 6-game homestand will continue Sunday afternoon against the Red Deer Rebels. Major League Baseball postseason continues today. Phillies and Braves series. That'll continue from Philly tonight with the Phillies holding a 2-1 series lead over the Braves. Yesterday, the Astros advanced to the ALCS with a 3-2 win over Minnesota, and the Diamondbacks completing the 3-game sweep of the Dodgers 4-2 your final. And Week 6 in the NFL will kick off tonight from Arrowhead. It's the Chiefs and the Broncos. You can join me for smoked brisket cheesesteak night at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, Century Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.32 with the AM Nasty. Thank you very much for being here. I like, it seems like every day. What's up?
Well, finish what you're saying.
Oh, is there breaking news?
Well, it's not breaking news.
Is there some news?
No, well, it's something for when you get into the Oilers. I'll throw out.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is intriguing. Now I forget what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. I like when people realize that we're back and it's easy to listen to us and it's live and it's crystal clear, static free since 23. And it's like, oh, my God, this is amazing. It seems like, you'll meet people who are like, oh, God, guys, I can't believe this is happening. So shout out to all of you who continue to discover the show.
And tell a friend.
And that's
kind of how this whole thing works.
That's how we kind of built a monster at the old place with our classic Tell a Friend program. And, that really helped. All right, Matty, what do you got there?
So last night, the Oilers, I got a message, you would have too, that said they're practicing today.
Yeah, I got that.
Well, it's been deleted. There's no practice today. Jay Woodcroft will speak at 12:15, but the Oilers are not practicing today. I'll let you guys have that.
Do you want some beef?
Actually, is there some pepperoni left in here? I'll take some show meat on this. Let me bite off a chunk of this. Hey, that's a new segment.
You're like the Macho Man. You're stepping into a Slim Jim.
Now they do have. What time's the signing?
6 to 8, I think.
6 to 8 tonight?
Is it? I feel like that. Let me double check.
Let's double check on that before, because if it's 6 to 8 tonight, then I've really got beef with this.
What time do you think it's going to be?
That's after work.
Well, I guess it's a weekday, so they're going to do it
School
after
night?
school with the kids. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
People are probably lined up right now as we
So
speak.
then why are
for
they not
Connor.
practicing today?
6 to 8, West End.
Okay, look, I'm just going to throw this out there. No morning skate yesterday. Canucks have that flu going through the building. Oilers look like they played some sort of flu game themselves last night. And now they're not practicing today? Is this team under the weather? Is that what this is? Is there something going through this team? Because why else would the Oilers not was there a note that it says, like, practice, there's no practice today? Like, did Jamie send out a... Or
Yeah,
did they,
that initial one it says was now deleted.
Okay.
And now it says Edmonton Oilers schedule for today, no practice. Jay Woodcroft will speak. He'll have an avail at 12:15. But it outright says no practice. Unless they're saying no practice and they're practicing somewhere else.
secret practice.
The game is afoot.
Just like football, the closed door practice.
Secret. Okay, so what's going on here? Like it's not like they have a heavy. You're telling me that
It's like the goaltending thing.
maybe their plane was delayed coming in or something. Because how can you watch that game last night and not think, hey, we got some stuff to work on?
I kind of got that from his post-game comments.
Something here doesn't make sense.
It's one of two things, and
Doesn't
you've
make
already
sense.
nailed them. It's either it's because of the autograph night.
But it's not till 6
I know,
o'clock.
or it's maybe there is a little bit of a flu or something. Or maybe there is something there.
Tommy, the Oilers aren't practicing today. I heard. That's weird, right? Very weird. It's very weird. Tommy just said it's very weird. Here's our Oilers guy. He said it's very weird.
Yeah, typically, after, especially when you have 2 days off, you should be on the ice practicing after an 8-1 loss.
You have ice at the mall, for crying out loud. You could.
I think it's covered for Connor.
I know
I think that's where he's signing.
You think that's...
I was looking at the map. I think Connor's at the rink area.
He's at the rink?
Yeah, I don't know if it's on the ice or around that or something.
But if we ever did, we should do autograph sessions at the mall. And I only want to be on the pirate ship. And we're all there, and we're all dressed as pirates doing like a role playing.
It only costs $2 to get on the pirate ship.
Yeah.
What?
There's a sign that says if you were looking for just to go on look at the pirate
they have
ship,
somebody there accepting.
you
money.
go to a
customer service
kiosk
booth right next to
and
it.
you give them $2 and you could go
They
on.
open the gate for you. And you can stay on there as long as you want.
Maybe that's where we should do our meeting next week. We all splurge
At the pirate ship.
$2, but
You know what?
for
Do we
the
still
5
have
of
that
us-
petty cash? Do we
Yes,
have
we do.
$10 petty cash?
The 5 of us will sit there.
You know what?
And we'll have our station or staff meeting.
And we'll splurge and get some Cinnabon.
Yeah, sure.
We'll get some Cinnabon.
We'll
Just
sign
a
books.
little mini Cinnabon.
Well, I'm
Other
supposed to
people's
bring
books.
for the next meeting, and I still will, the Italian Center
shop
sandwiches and some Orangina.
Yeah, you are.
I am doing that.
Orangina.
Half each.
Yeah.
Nash is in. Okay, so yeah, here we go. This is a new text game. Or how about this? Wait, this is the perfect clip that we were running earlier in the show today. Oh, I'm fired up about this no practice day. After losing 8-1 in your first game of the season, you don't practice the next day.
I've never seen anything like this.
Nor have I.
I've never seen anything like this. Nor have I.
They knew that clip would be used for today.
Yeah.
They knew in that baseball booth.
Maybe they're not practicing because they're going to the moon.
So, Christian Walker has the home run erased and then hits the next pitch to the moon. There's your 4th home run.
I've never seen anything like this.
Nor have I.
Okay, what?
Tommy says it's because there's a concert,
So it's nothing of what we were doing.
which
So there's a concert at 2 rinks today?
Godsmack is playing today. They've practiced when there's concerts
Yeah,
before.
exactly.
They've gone to the
There's
community
concerts.
rink.
Godsmack.
You are very urban farmer today. I see
There's-
that, Platt.
There's that, or I'm sure you're the Edmonton
Gager.
Oilers. You could find ice in Edmonton if you wanted it.
No, ice is expensive in Edmonton.
Yeah, for the Oilers.
Or like Marshall's U9 Tier 2 team.
You got it at the mall. You're
We're
signing the
we're
autograph.
booking ice at the River Cree. Like two extra practices a week.
I think the Oilers could easily make a call and find some sort of ice today.
And also, how do you get bumped out of your own building by Godsmack?
Godsmack, I
in
love
2023. In 2023, the Oilers, like, what's more important? What's more important? The Oilers actually practicing in their own barn after getting crushed 8-1 by the Canucks, or a Godsmack concert?
There's a concert tomorrow. Do they get bumped again? Wu-Tang's in town.
Well, that's
These
understandable.
are-
I mean, of course you're going to bump it for Wu-Tang.
Right, but if they practice tomorrow, then there's no excuse for today.
Whose home is it?
Otherwise, are they not going to practice for the next 2 days because there's 2
Rogers
concerts?
Place or Wu-Tang's place?
Do they actually need the money that bad that they've got to sell all these concerts?
I love the Godsmack of all the acts.
I like somebody said they're not practicing today because everyone is getting traded.
That was the panic question you had earlier.
It does. I don't know. Something doesn't add up here. It's a weird start to the season. Even outside of losing 8-1, optional game day skate, no practice today. I think the team's sick.
Smacked by the Canucks.
I think they're
God's
sick.
smacking.
Look at how they played last night.
They
might have made themselves sick after last night's game.
That's just it.
The team can't practice today because they're all dehydrated because they spent the entire plane ride back puking at their own efforts.
Chicken and egg type of thing.
Huh.
Godsmack. Does Jay bring it up in the 12:15 avail? Does he mention?
He's definitely going to be asked.
Does he mention
Godsmack?
The Godsmack concert, not like a prior event. I want him to say the Godsmack featuring, the supporting acts and everything.
Okay, how about this?
And will he be there?
Team building day. Who doesn't like going to the mall for a little bit in the afternoon? So
they're doing a full mall day?
Do a mall day, right? Who cares about last night? Forget
Retail
about last
therapy.
night. Mall day.
Yeah.
Question.
Water massages, water park, Galaxy Land.
Do they all do it together, or do you go and break up into groups to what you want to do?
I would
do some guys go to the speeders and race around, and then some go to the water park, and some go to Galaxy Land, or they all have to do it together?
All I care is that Nurse and Bouchard are not in the same group.
Okay. Who goes to the movies?
They go their separate ways.
At the mall, and I saw the autograph session, and Nurse and Bouchard were together. I put them on.
Gator says at the mall, saw they were going to be together, and it separated them. Maybe they're having a mall day, and then they do the autograph signing.
Bunch of shopping together?
And then they're going to Godsmack.
Well, they can't. There's I guess they could still maybe.
Godsmack's not going to go on until 10 o'clock.
You missed
10:30
acts. Yeah. Jay will be there for sure, I assume.
Well, I guess they're happy with their performance if they're not going to practice today.
That's what you're getting from this.
What else are you supposed to get? Honestly. I wish we had right now
ice.
I wish we had a couple 6 o'clocker loggers ready to go, so I could say conch me.
You'd need a few.
And we'll get.
To wash down that beef as well. You've had some beefs this
somebody
morning.
Somebody said today should have been one of our sports stats that we were talking about. We're out. We're not in today. We're taking official Edmonton Sports Talk stat holiday.
Oh, you can't do it after that game.
We got to be here for that game.
No, those are must-stare days.
Yeah,
those aren't stats.
Well, when are we?
Oilers win the cup. That's a stat.
We're not going to be on the air the next day with a bunch of songs and stuff.
We go, or if we do, we just go on the streets and record while we're on the streets.
Weird day. Anyway, the reason I brought the beer is because we are now ready to launch the label contest. Mm-hmm. We are going to execute it like this. We've named the beer 6 o'clocker lager. By the way, I don't even know if I told you guys. Alley Cat, who's partnering with us on this, great partners, us, Sobeys, Alley Cat. By December 1st, you'll be able to pick yourself up a 4-pack of the 6 o'clocker lager. We're starting the label contest right now. The name, Alley Cat has checked into it. We're good to go. 6 o'clocker lager. There's no issues with it. So the name's good to go. So we're launching the label contest. What's going to happen here is you'll see on socials after the show today. We'll make sure we get it all up and posted. You can go. You'll be able to download. Maddie created this thing called Google Docs. And he's going to, we're going to, right, Maddie? That's what
there's two things. I also got it as a
PNG.
Yeah, so we could tweet out the picture.
Yeah.
It should work.
And then you'll be able to download.
But there's also, we'll have a link to, we have it in a Google Drive folder.
Okay.
People could download the PDF from it.
Okay.
And they could have at it.
Okay.
If you will.
The one, and there's some requirements on there. You'll see, it's laid out nicely. You'll see where you can put your artwork. And then we're going to choose one of these labels, and that's going to be the label on our beer. So you could design our label, and we'll give you a little bit of love on the can and everything.
Alley Cat as well gives you a little love as being that.
Yeah, it's going to be super cool. So, I mean, even if you're not a fan of the show, if you have a friend who's an artist that you think could absolutely knock this thing out of the bloody park, then let them know. We're going to tweet it out from all of our socials today. You'll be able to go download the PDF, which can get you working on it, and then you'll be able to see how it's going to work. It's going to be awesome.
I've already been asked a question about it.
Is it from Tube Socks?
Yeah. Because
we want a conch on the label.
Okay, well, that you got to throw out there. There's got to be a conch. But it's green. Does it have to be green?
No, I think you can change the green. I think that's why they made it green, because green, being somewhat of a Photoshop person myself, You can select the green and kind of get rid of it.
Well, Tube Socks, if you're listening, there's your answer.
Yeah, you can basically, there are certain things you'll see on there. I think anywhere where it's greenish, you might be able to change it. I guess I'll double check on that. But hey, let's have at her. Let's get creative with this thing because we want that 6 o'clocker lager to look absolutely perfect. Jenna says, I hired Godsmack to play my wedding, but apparently it was a deal breaker for my fiance and we split. Too bad, so sad. Don't cry for me, Argentina. There's a lot to unpack from that message in the nasty chat, isn't there? How much can you hire Godsmack for? 12 grand? 14 grand?
Well, somebody chiming in to Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999 saying it's a BOGO concert.
Buy one, get one?
Oh, yeah.
Is that actually a thing?
Somebody texted in. I've yet
Wait,
to
so if you
confirm
buy a
it.
ticket to Godsmack, you get a ticket to Wu-Tang?
If that's what BOGO stands for. Well, not Wu-Tang, maybe for like tonight, that type of thing.
Buy one ticket, get a second free for tonight's show.
So they're struggling to sell tickets for this Godsmack show that the Oilers have been kicked out of there.
Who in the world thought it was a good idea to put Godsmack in 2023 at Rogers Place? I don't know if we would put Godsmack at the old barn.
More of a midway
They're
show
prime.
if you ask me, but
Buy a ticket, get a ticket free?
Oilers can't.
And you can't practice because of that?
Yeah.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Guys, Woody is going full dad on this one. He's not mad. He's just disappointed. Also, he's now giving them the silent treatment. Ouch. Mark Pajot in the house. God, I love seeing that. That's excellent.
Good sweater game here in the hangout coming up, hey?
Yeah.
He's got the
an
nice comfy
awesome
cardigans.
sweater. Pajot's looking a little jacked, too. You see that?
Pushing the weight.
He must be working out. Very jealous. That's excellent. All right, so watch for the label contest. We'll be posting that on all of our socials today, and we'll be hammering that out here over the next little while. Get on it. Come up with, we want, whatever. When you think 6 o'clock or lager, like we said, we want a conch on it so we can do the thing, hey, conch me. What else? Is there some sort of clock factored in with the 6? It's up to you. You do whatever you want.
You know from Beer of the Weeks, the eye catchiness of a can will punch through. Sometimes you don't want to go too obvious. Maybe you want to leave it all blank and you just have a conch. I don't know.
What
You're
about
the artist?
Caricatures of us on there?
Sure.
I think you could probably just AI this son of a bee. Right? Just go on AI, create me a beer label that has 2 really handsome men on it and a conch, and the name of the beer is 6 o'clock or lager. Oof. I also like the idea of Renee peeking around a corner somewhere.
Well, I like to this as the Molson Pilsner can with just so much going on. You can't really focus on one particular thing. And each little thing has its own story that you can kind of point to. I really like an in-depth design for the can. Or maybe, again, just leaving it blank, having a conch, and drawing us in stickman form. Probably not going to get you the win, but I'd love the creativity and the uniqueness.
Guys, I just looked at the seat map. I hope all 15 people at the concert have a great time tonight.
Well, somebody wants it shifted to the community rink.
I'm not even sure Godsmack could sell out the community
Crestwood?
rink. Terwilliger Rink A.
Okay.
It's got a few of the seats along the side there. Did you like Godsmack?
I saw them open once for I believe it was Slipknot back at
Well, give me a Godsmack
Sass
song.
Place.
I'm sure I know a couple of them.
Oh, geez.
We know a
Awake?
Godsmack.
I
What's
think
that?
Awake is a song.
I am awake by you.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
They have a good, the singer drums sometimes. Sully Erna, he'll drum as well, I think.
Oh, very talented.
Yeah. They've been around for some time, though. They've got some...
Who does he think he is? Dave Grohl?
Looking at the map, I'm guessing this is also a lower bowl only show.
Oh, so are the Elks running this?
Oh, here's the joke.
There's not a single seat available in the upper deck, which makes me believe that they were never sold.
They sold out the upper deck. And now they're trying to fill the bottom.
They went backwards.
Wouldn't that be something?
There's a decent amount of tickets. But yeah, they're not even...
Available or gone?
Both.
Right in that bushy middle zone.
Sounds like a great show.
It's one where you look at it and go, oh, they've sold some tickets, but also there's some tickets available. But again, there's also no upper bowl for Godsmack tonight. So I don't know why they need both rinks that the Oilers can't practice at the community rink.
I don't know. This Oilers not practicing thing was a curveball I was not expecting.
Do they warm up at the community rink? Is that kind of...
Who,
sound
Godsmack?
check? Yeah, like you sound check there and move over.
I don't know. Are the Oil Kings doing something in the community? There's a ton of time at the community ring.
But
ice.
you can't. If the Oil Kings are doing
Oil
something,
Kings
can
played
you
last
really?
night. Yep. No, they played last night and they don't play again until
Are
Sunday.
you really
Yeah.
saying the Oil Kings get priority over the
that's-
Oilers?
Now we're going down a road here that doesn't make any sense.
Nash is on the Nasty chat today. He says, I think the entire town of Edson will be a Godsmack tonight. I mean, nothing against Edson, but maybe they have a huge Godsmack community out there. I don't know. All right, 780-218-9999. Hey, guys, I may have missed something, but are you not doing the morning mandate with Rashog anymore? No, we're doing it on Mondays. Shoggy, obviously, big into the podcast game. He's got podcasts with Struddy and Brown, and you can find them doing that podcast. I think it's like 4 times a week. So he's a busy boy, and we wanted him back every single day, but we decided that we'll do it on Mondays, the Monday morning mandate. And when he joins us on Mondays, and I guess we didn't have a show on Monday, so that's why we didn't have him this week. But when he joins us on Mondays, you'll get to hear the intro from the Got Your Back podcast.
Timberlake rocks.
Is that a mandate of yours?
God, what are we talking about here? Good question. Can some of it be about sport? Yeah.
So yeah, it's still a thing. It's just it's only on Mondays.
We missed him, obviously, with the Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, we could have tried to like reschedule him, but I didn't want to bother him.
He's a busy guy.
I didn't want to bother him too much. All right, let's get into the wrap for William Huff. If you want your place to look just like ours, I guess you could. You could go into William Huff and say, hey, I want the Nielsen Show Edmonton Sports Talk wrap at my house.
Be odd, but I mean, we love it.
I like a parody show being done of us somewhere. It's a good idea.
Guy getting his whole family together.
If you want to copy somebody else's style, get it done at William Huff. Visit them at williamhuff.com. Been around since 72. We did have some suggestions earlier today with the Elks taking away the upper bowl. William Huff wraps every seat with human figures, so it looks like the entire upper bowl is sold out. That's a pretty big job, but I know they do a lot of work down at Commonwealth already.
You get the dream team out there, it's done by mid-afternoon.
No, this is Bruce by himself and only by himself.
Rolls up the sleeves.
This is a Bruce passion job. Right? I think that's... all right, what did we learn on the show today?
I learned what you have beef with. That was the big thing. I was wondering...
Of course I have beef with the most ridiculous decision made in a game one ever.
The Oilers are back. Hockey's back. You had your tweet last night of 3 things, which I always love to look at. But then you also had a bit of a, hey, I had this other thing that I didn't. And then you... That's what I learned. In terms of breaking news this morning, the Oilers with the no skate. I mean, that was kind of the practice. That's Florida.
Everything's
taking me all
fine.
off guard. Yeah, well, I guess so.
Maybe they just... No, there's no reason to justify this.
It's the autograph night, I think. I think that they're committing to 2 hours for the team.
So they got to work 2 hours today. Well, that's funny because that's 2 more hours than they worked last night. Well,
that's the thing I would go to is that there's a commitment at night that maybe the CBA they can't during the day.
Oh,
I'm
CBA
so
thing?
official
I don't know.
rules,
Like that's
okay.
That's the only thing I can think
guess
of
I'd have
is
to give them
maybe
a pass if the brutal CBA.
If your work night, you got to do that later. Can't expect them to be on the ice. Maybe but.
Man, I wish we knew the CBA more.
Yeah, when you lose 8-1,
yeah,
you don't have to work at all the next day.
Here's something else you could learn now from Puckpedia. This just came out. For teams that played short one player, like the Oilers did yesterday, if they don't have 20 healthy players for the next game, they could call up an emergency player with a cap hit of $875 or less. This player will not count against the cap until they have 20 healthy players.
So Raphael Lavoie.
So, just throwing that out there.
Here's the plan.
Peterson on the call up. Especially we got to figure out what's going on with Holloway. I'm sure Woodcroft will be asked about that today. Woody's going to have an availability when 12:30. That'll happen during 2 guys.
12:15. He'll update you on Godsmack's set list and everything with the Oilers.
I learned that Matt Iwanek slept here last night. First person to sleep in the Edmonton Sports Talk head offices, and that was Matty Iwanek. A salute to you, Mr. Iwanek.
It all went well. A good review. Hey, nothing. I was looking forward to some sort of story or some sort of commotion outside, but you didn't sleep. You said it wasn't a deep sleep, but
it wasn't deep sleep, but very calm, no noises. Yeah. Furnace kicking on, furnace kicking off. That's about it.
Did it scare you when the furnace kicked on?
No.
I always get scared sleeping in new places, especially by myself.
Yeah, no, it's
you just never know. How do we know there's not a boogeyman here at night?
Well, now we
Right.
know what happens overnight, I guess. There's nobody, like, you didn't hear footsteps in the hall or no.
Well, but I'm
a
also
knock
back
on
in the corner, so
That's
I'm
true.
away from
And
everyone.
you locked your office door?
Of course.
Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
didn't need you guys coming in before me if I woke up and having to like storm in or something.
Hey, Matty, time to get up, buddy.
Wake you up.
Boo! All right, let's get to your text of the day today. Let's see here. Where do we go for text of the day? We had a lot of good ones that rolled in a little bit earlier on.
Lots to work
in
with.
the show.
I mean, the baseball clip from last night.
The
as well.
baseball clip was
Leading
good.
into
I
the
mean,
Oilers
that'll
game,
be your
that was-
sound of the day here. You know what? Let's go sound of the day first. Then we'll get to text of the day. This was from the baseball game last night. We had some fun with this. I don't know if it's going to lead to a text of the day. There's another pretty good text in there today as well. But let's here we go.
So, Christian Walker has the home run erased and then hits the next pitch to the moon. There's your fourth home run.
I've never seen anything like this.
Nor have I.
That's people when they got the email saying it's a buy one get one for Godsmack.
I've never seen anything like this.
Nor have I.
What ended up happening to the people who used to run Payless Shoes? They're now booking Godsmack's tour.
It's Godsmack with special guests I Prevail in Flat Black, featuring Jason Hook, formerly of Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh, wow. That's not moving.
Five Finger Death Punch is over?
Like, I don't know. Is he still in?
Guess what we learned on the show today?
Yeah.
Hey, Dusty, are you guys bringing back hot takes? We're going to have hot takes. Hot takes will be back. Nielsen Show Draft will be back. We're just trying to get through like a few weeks with like no technical issues. Knock on wood.
Set things going here.
Been going pretty good lately, eh? Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, we need
I
one
might
of those
have-
signs now. I think X nowadays since issue.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to get that one?
I think we,
Oh, that would be fun. We can put it
Right
next
now
to
we're
that
at a
map that
few.
we want to get. All right, let's go. Let's go back to LFC captain before the show even started
yes,
today.
thank you.
This
That
was just such a
great.
deep, good text after the loss last night. Text of the day for A&W. Get a $20 gift card to A&W. Do you guys think Draisaitl is hurt? It never fails.
Before the show
It
even
never
started.
fails. After Draisaitl has like a meh game, takes some stupid penalties,
got the goal, too.
scored a goal, cashed me hundreds. It was awesome. Do you guys think Draisaitl is hurt? That's just too good. I love it.
Let's get
I've never seen anything like this.
Nor have I.
LFC captain winning the text of the day. What are we watching tonight? What's on the go tonight, buddy? What's happening here?
I'll be down at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, Centric Casino Fort Road, for Week 6 in the NFL, Chiefs and Broncos. Now, if you missed out on last Thursday, everyone's family was there. It was like a family reunion, Edmonton
it's so
Sports
good.
Talk Fed. People were crying and hugging and kissing. If you missed out on that, come on down tonight. More of an intimate affair. You can talk to me, sit with me. I'll buy you a beer. I'll buy you a smoked brisket cheesesteak. It's a free square board tonight as well. Usually a jersey or a cap up for grabs in that. And your next chance to qualify into a draw, a trip for two to LA, Rams and Browns. Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, Centric Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day, especially Mondays and Thursdays with moi.
I'll be watching that game tonight, cheering for a huge first quarter from the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes to be over 21.5 rushing yards. More fun bets with Cool Bet in the Lock Shop coming up at 11 o'clock today. Two guys and a goalie at noon. I wonder what we'll be talking about. We'll have Woodcroft's availability actually at 12:15. I wonder if we can get that on played on two guys today. We could probably pull that off, eh? Maybe. I mean, we'll see. We'll at least be talking to some of the reaction, figure out what the hell happened last night.
The Godsmack show.
Yeah. That's all on the way as well. I got a lot of good juicy tidbits for the fantasy football aspect of tonight's game as well. We'll go there around 11:50. Fun show today. Tell your friends that Sports Talk is Edmonton is better than ever before at www.edmontonsportstalk.com. Watch, listen live every single day for Mr. Lean, who slept here last night. Well done, Maddie. Do it again tonight, you coward. For Lieutenant Eric, I am Dustin Nielsen. Tell your friends about the show. Take it easy.